Mhm.
Just current support. All right, we're live. All right.
Legion of Creators.
I still think it's crazy that Luke did this voice.
It's very good.
Voiceover.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
That's still one of my favorite Superman Live trailer. I still love Buddy up here. Bow, bow, bow. I like when he shows all the pictures. I can't believe the amount of editing he went through with this. Alright, good. So now we'll go back to a different format. Okay, are you in a good format or should I change it again?
I think it's good.
Alright, welcome guys. So I'm joined here with your new host for today, McKenna. McKenna is going to tell us all about what our topics are. Welcome to Legions of Creators, episode 26. As always, I'm your weekly host, Grey Jedi Joey. But today, we're doing an all-horror episode. So, McKenna, take it away.
Hello, my name is McKenna, but you can call me Kenna for short. If you don't know already, I'm Joey's little sister. And since it's horror and this is one of my favorite genres, I will be the main host just for this special episode. And today we'll be talking about new horror movies that are coming out, but we'll also be discussing what we have already seen and what we hope to see in the near future, maybe some new ideas. First, we will talk about light spoilers about certain films, but we will give a warning to heavy spoilers to certain things. So if you haven't seen some of these movies and you don't want to be spoiled, there will be a warning. So you can either mute for just a hot minute or leave and come back. And the type of horror movies that I really like psychological. I like thriller-ish stuff. I like some supernatural, but I'm more of a kind of slasher, more grounded horror. And one of my favorite horror movies is, I think of all time for now, is Silence of the Lamb, Sleepaway Camp, and Suspiria. Joey, what kind of horror movies do you like?
I'm kind of across the board. Also, I'm in audio mode for right now because I'm going to be eating my food and I don't want to eat on camera. So,
okay, that's
but
fine.
but I'll still contribute here. I'm sorry, my picture is Cobra Kai based, but it's what I had on hand. So I love psychological horror like Hereditary. I also really enjoy a good slasher like the original Halloween. I like Freddy and Jason. There's this movie I watched a long time ago I really liked called Cain Sees No Evil. It's a really good one. I also really like another good horror movie I really enjoy, or horror franchises. I really like so like we talked about, we like the Conjuring movies. I like the It franchise, even though I don't see the It movies as direct horror, which we'll talk about later today. I really like how they have that blend of it kind of feels like a darker Goonies, where you have that old kind of it's got that sense of adventure, but with a creepier aspect.
Yeah.
I liked the first Insidious. I didn't like the other ones though very much.
I watched the first Insidious movie recently, and I just think it's really. I won't go. I'll go into it deep a little later, but I just think the whole concept of it is not good.
I also like not the original version, but the Japanese version of The Grudge is very good. Just another reason that foreign horror movies are better than a lot of American ones. But well, yeah.
So
I
since
like a lot of different ones.
So since we'll be talking about horror news, especially I like that you brought up The Conjuring. Conjuring the Last Rites will be supposedly the last Conjuring film, because it's called The Last Rites, and there's not much about it from the trailers. It looks fun. The Conjuring movies are kind of hit or misses for me. Some are really good and some are really bad. And based off this trailer so far, from the jump scares that they pick in the trailer, it kind of does look a little generic, but I'm not asking for much either. I am glad that this will be the final last Conjuring film. Part of me does believe that I don't think it's going to be the last forever. I think we're still going to see Conjuring films or a TV show or some sort of content in a way because these movies make a lot of money. So I think even though Conjuring the Last Rites will be the, quote, final film in the franchise, I think we'll probably, maybe in a couple of years or so, we will see the franchise again in some certain way. But even though, again, the Conjuring films are big hit or misses, I am intrigued to see it, and I am wondering how they're going to end this big franchise. And I do understand from what I know is that this movie is based on one of Ed and Lorraine's most scary or most dangerous cases that they've been on before, but I have not done further research beyond that because I just want to see the movie first and then do more research to compare. But I am going to miss seeing the two actors that play Ed and Lorraine. I do think they have really good chemistry, and I hope that even though the Conjuring films will be over for some time, I am excited to see if they will appear again in other horror franchises as well, especially the actress. She's my favorite.
Yeah, she's really good. I like the Conjuring movies. I had a hot take about the Conjuring movies that a lot of people don't talk about very much. I actually enjoyed, even though I don't think the reviews were super good, I enjoyed the last one they made. I liked The
Devil Made Me Do It?
Yeah.
No, it was good too. I mean, not amazing, but I didn't think it was bad.
It wasn't bad. I think the first two are still the best, but
yeah, the first two are still the best. To answer some of your questions, hi Retrolad and Iceman, I believe. Our third user, Luke, is currently busy right now, but he will hop in later.
I think Iceman was talking about me while I wasn't on camera, probably.
Oh, well, he
Iceman,
said
I'm eating right now, Iceman, so I'll be on camera in a minute. The Walking Dead expert said the Saw franchise is the best franchise. Everyone's open to their own opinion.
I like the Saw. It's not personally my thing that I'm into. I do have a friend that's super into it. Again, the Saw franchise is kind of one of also those franchises where they have a lot of, like, they're popular and they're good because they are popular. They're popular because they are good, but I also think they have some hit and misses when it comes to their franchise. I know that the last Saw movie, I think, was it Spiral, the last one? That kind of had mixed reviews, but I think there's going to be another.
There was one more after Spiral.
Yeah, there was one more. Okay, one more after Spiral. I heard that one was really good. I haven't personally caught up with the Saw franchise because, again, they're just not my thing, but I do respect the impact that it had, and obviously the first Saw is the classic and probably the best one. I don't really the way that I see horror is that I don't really kind of go which franchise is the best. I kind of look at it as, like, these are my favorite individuals. Like, even if it's a franchise and they may or may not have some bad movies, I do think that they're great as a premise, and, like, again, with their movies that made them popular, are good and should obviously be respected.
Yeah.
Saw X was the best best in the franchise. Yeah, I've heard about that from other people. Again, I can't really talk on Saw. That's, again, just not my cup of tea. But I do like the idea of it, and I think, and obviously the first one is really good.
Oh,
do you guys view
Tara's here?
Yeah, hi Tara. Do you guys view Final Destination as horror? I do, because you're seeing death a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And what's smart about Final Destination is that even though those films are kind of mediocre in themselves, I think what's smart about that franchise is that they know what kind of films that they are, and that people are going to see those films to see the absurd, crazy ways to die. I kind of view it as like Dumb Ways to Die, but in film version and more graphic, of course. But I did recently see the newest one, Final Destination Bloodlines, and I did like it. Without going into too much heavily spoilers, I like the story premise. I thought it was filmed well, and I liked all the actors' performances, and I like that they did callbacks to the previous films without it making it feel like nostalgia bait or relying on them too much, and that it so made it to be its own thing. And I overall enjoyed it, and I thought it was a fun flick of, like, just seeing over the top graphic deaths and It wasn't anything grand or amazing, of course, because they are quite simple films, but I really did like how they wrote the story in that one.
Yeah, I just finished eating my food now, so now I can be on camera again. So yeah, I've enjoyed the Final Destination movies. I haven't seen the newest one yet, but I need to watch it. And Retrolad wanted to say, oh, go ahead, Kenna.
I was gonna answer Retrolad. He said nice Iron Giant shirt, but it's not Iron Giant. I'm sorry, you can't really see it, but it's a Coraline shirt that I'm wearing because Coraline's one of my favorite films.
Well, that's another horror franchise that you're a big fan of.
No, it's more thriller. Yeah, I really like the book and I like the movie, and I know people want a Coraline 2. I don't want a Coraline 2. I think
because you're worried they'll ruin it.
Well, I just that, but I also think Coraline's one of those stories where you don't need to continue it. It's perfect just on its own, and to drag it out, I think would in the end hurt it and ruin its kind of charm. The head looks the head does look like Iron Giant. It's the other mother looking spooky. But yeah. Yeah,
and Chris, you were mentioning to me about guests joining. I have my notifications up if anyone wants to join it and they have the link. I thought that was the Void on Kenna's shirt. Yeah, that'd be interesting having the Void. It does kind of have that look. But yeah, no, that's good. Good job bringing up Final Destination because that's a pretty big franchise. And I like what Kenna has to say about, we're pretty close to this new Conjuring movie. And like she says, I do agree that you probably will get you'll probably get stuff like the how do I word this? Sorry, my thing was blocking my ears, so it was feeling muffled. The new Welcome to Derry show. Really, you have no interest in Welcome to Derry? Well, that's too bad because we're going to talk about Welcome to Derry later in the show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later, Sam.
Yeah, but so I know they're going to make them, but I just really think that the Conjuring films have proven to be the strong asset of that franchise, even though they spun off all these different characters. So I prefer they just kind of leave it with that personally, because I feel like the Conjuring movies by themselves, even though 3 is the weakest one, it still is a good trilogy. And now you could end a good 4th movie. We don't need to spin any more nuns or any more Annabelles or anything like that. I know people said they really wanted to have this other character from the second movie that gets introduced.
Oh, the Crooked Man? And I do agree that I think that is lost potential. I think, again, like I said, even though this Conjuring The Last Rites will be the last movie of the franchise, at least with Ed and Lorraine as the main characters, I still do believe that because it is a money-making machine, that they will push more content out. And I think maybe if fans really want it enough, that maybe they'll cave in and do make a Crooked Man movie with other characters somehow and make it work. But that might not be for like another 5 or 10 years, though.
All right, well, Walking Dead expert wants to know if you're a Scream fan.
I do like Scream to a certain extent. I really think it's one of those franchises where it has been pushed so much that it has lost its charm. I think the first one will always be the best one. I do like 2 and 3 to a certain extent, but I think number 5 for me, that's my least favorite one. Scream 5 ruined it a little bit.
Oh, the one with Amber.
Yeah, the one with Amber. I thought she was the worst Ghostface. I really did not like number 5 because it didn't feel like Scream. It oddly felt like it had like MCU quality to it, and I did not like it. That's the best way I can describe it, but like it didn't feel like Scream to me, and that's why I didn't like it. Scream 6 I thought was okay. I enjoyed it more than Scream 5. I am concerned about the latest Scream movie that's in the works, since the original actress, I forgot her name, and Jenna Ortega have left, and I feel like those Scream movies relied heavily on both of those characters that they played, since they're sisters, and now since both of them are gone, I just don't know how they're going to make the movies work. And they're bringing back the original cast because they have no other choice to, and I'm glad that those original actors are coming back and renewing their roles, and they're probably going to get paid lots of money, which is good for them. But I'm just more concerned overall if the story will be any good, and if the meaning of if the mystery of who done it and who's gonna be the new Ghostface will be good, because I really feel like maybe after Scream 4, I think the who done it, who's the Ghostface kind of mystery aspect has lost its charm, and they're just not being written or any well. But I do still love the Scream franchises. Even again, I do have problems with it, but I do think it's good. And I think because it was one of the first kind of meta horror movies, it did lead the way for new kind of horror movies similar to Shine as well. So again, I do appreciate it as a franchise.
Yeah. So Retrohead said that growing his first horror film growing up. He's asking what our first horror film was growing up, and then he says mine was Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one.
The first one. So Coraline was definitely my gateway into horror, even though that's more like a scary movie for kids. But my first legitimate horror movie that I saw was bits of pieces of one of the Halloween sequels on cable one time, and then a little bit of Freddy vs. Jason. That was when those are my first two real horror movies that I saw when I was little. But I think my first horror movie that I sat and watched down fully from beginning to end was the first It movie in 2017.
Nice.
I watched more later on.
Yeah, my first horror movie. Funny you were talking about it. Mine was actually the first Scream.
Mm-hmm.
Because my other sister, and my mom, I wanted to just watch Roger Rabbit like a good person. I was really young, and mom's like, "You need to watch Scream." It's like we don't want to watch spooky. Like, I would go to the other room and watch Roger Rabbit. Like I did not want anything to do with that Ghostface when I was young.
Yeah, I love that story. That's really funny.
So some would say that my mom traumatized me at a young age, but it is what it is. Horror recommendations for Tara. TV shows.
TV shows. Here's the thing. I personally prefer horror media through movies rather than TV shows, because I feel like TV shows are a little hard. Like I couldn't really get into American Horror Story because it was TV shows, and even though there's actors in there that I like, I just personally couldn't get into it.
It's a good one for sure.
I'm trying to think what horror TV show.
I recommend Black Mirror because you can jump into any episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
and it has its own.
It's good for psychological horror.
It has its own it has it's kind of what I like about Black Mirror is you don't have to watch episode 1 and you still know what's going on, because they made every single episode almost like its own thing, where it's kind of cool. It's like each episode in different seasons is its own story. So it's like, okay, if you're watching this episode, it's kind of like a one-off, right? So like there's one I watched with Anthony Mackie and another actor, and that was pretty cool. And then there's different ones, different stories. So yeah, I'd say Black Mirror is a good recommendation. I think there's a Scream series. I don't remember where it's streaming, but I thought I heard something about it being on there.
I want to answer some previous questions.
Questions we missed? Go ahead.
Beyond the Kai asked how we feel about Stu Macha returning. Again, like I said already, kind of like I'm happy that they're getting in the movies again and getting paid, but again, I feel like they have no choice but to be desperate to get the original people back to make the new movie work. So no hate to Stu coming back. I think it will work in some way, but again, I'm just kind of drained from the Scream franchise. And then, have I ever seen Walking Dead? I've never gotten into the TV show, but I really do love the video game. And even though I know The Walking Dead is really good, I just zombies aren't my thing. It's not that they're those things where like they scare me the most. It's more of like I don't know, zombies just aren't my favorite monsters in the horror universe. I do think they can be done well, and I have seen some good zombie stuff before, but it's just not my biggest personal thing. In the Friday the 13th movies, Friday the 13th is one of those movies where I think it has become a stereotype of itself, and I think they're going through some troubles right now. That's why there hasn't been a new Friday the 13th movie in a long time, because there's being rights fought between who owns the IP right now. But I am hoping once that has settled down, I do love to see a new Friday the 13th movie and Jason to come back, because even though he is obviously the top horror movie guys, I do think that he is somewhat underrated compared to the other slashers in his time of his prime. And I do believe that Jason, I find him more compelling over somebody like Michael Myers. I think Michael Myers has been run down, and he's not my favorite slasher personally, and I prefer Jason more over him. So I would love to see where he's again. And I do like Friday the 13th movies because they're fun, and again, you know what you're getting into when you watch these films. But I really do think slasher is kind of an underrated subgenre in horror, and people kind of stop off as silly. While I do think that you can really make a deep, good story within a slasher setting for horror fans.
Yeah, also Walking Dead expert also said, have you seen Slither? It's a great James Gunn horror movie.
I do know about Slither. That one is good. I don't really have much to say about it. It's one of those kind of gross body horror movies, and I do like those to a certain I'm so sorry. I do like those to a certain degree, but I don't have much to say about Slither. I don't think it's a bad film, but I do think it's one of a good movie to put on if you want to be disturbed a little bit.
House of Wax, Tara says.
I know about House of Wax.
Leatherface, Pinhead,
I'll get to those. Hold up, I'll get to those. So Leatherface. Okay, so Pinhead. The Hellraiser franchise, I believe that's where Pinhead gets into. I do like Pinhead as a concept. I do like its look, and I like about it's like a demon from hell, and like it tortures people. My thing is that when it comes to supernatural horror, is that I do like ghosts and demons spooking you and scaring you, but I am personally kind of over the whole Satan is in a horror movie. Like, that's my biggest problem with the film like Longlegs. I really didn't like how they implied that Satan is real. I just think it kind of ruined the movie for me. I really wish it was more like religious psychosis, and that Longlegs believed that Satan was real, but not actually. That's just me, though, because I'm not a super uber religious person. So when it comes to like a supernatural film where they have the devil, I'm kind of eh. And also Leatherface, I feel the same way kind of about Jason Voorhees. Is I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a good franchise, but it has kind of become a stereotype of itself. And that, again, I think what we would really need is a new take on Leatherface, but not in that one bad Netflix 2020 version that they did, which was really bad when they try to add social media with it, because that just didn't work. I also think Leatherface is one of those killers where he is bad, but you can also have sympathy for, because he's more like a lost animal, because he really kills when he gets scared. And then what works about the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that after he kills his victims, he looks very disheartened and scared that he did that, but he lives in such a cruel environment that that's the only thing he knows how to do. And so I wish that maybe if we were to get another Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, that they explore deeper into the mind of Leatherface himself.
I think that's interesting. Tara says, Wrong Turn, Cabin Fever, Cabin Fever, A Cabin in the Woods, House on Haunted Hill.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get through House of Wax. So House of Wax I've not seen personally. When it comes to horror movies that I don't have yet to see for myself. I really do love the YouTube channel Dead Meat, where they do the kill count videos, and I've watched the kill count of House of Wax. And House of Wax, I think, even though I have yet to see the actual film, I do think it's one, based off what Dead Meat said, I do think it's one of those fun, kind of very cool but very disturbing kind of slasher. I think it's a slasher movies that, again, we have been missing out for a while, and it would be great if they made a comeback. Yeah, Jason Takes Manhattan was a bad Friday the 13th movie. Wrong Turn is very I think Wrong Turn, that's a good franchise, but I don't think it should make a comeback. I think that's kind of been done already, and I don't think they could push it more. Cabin Fever, I've not seen Cabin Fever. Cabin in the Woods, I have seen Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods, if I remember correctly, that's the one where it's also kind of like a meta take on horror, because the characters pick certain things of like horror tropes and they have to fight those monsters. I think that's good, and it's not run down. House on Haunted Hill, I've not seen that one, so I don't know much about it. Lock and Key is good on Netflix. See, I can't get into Lock and Key because I think it looks really cheesy and very cliche, so that's not my kind of thing. But if you like it, that's good. And then I'm gonna answer to Retrolad's comment on this, because we will be discussing it in a different way, but we still want to keep it on horror theme. But James Gunn says the DCU is ruled by three groups: metahumans, the government, and giant firms like Wayne Enterprises. So, since to talk about DC a little bit in this podcast, I am very excited for the Clayface movie, because what I really love is when a movie is a very specific genre, but then they tie in with a subgenre. So Clayface is going to be somewhat of a superhero movie, or at least a comic book movie, but because it's Clayface and they've already said that it will be like body horror, that I'm really interested in, and I do hope in the future we will get more superhero films that are obviously comic book accurate, but have subgenres tie in with them, with like crime, another horror movie, like maybe a Scarecrow movie, etc., or like drama, or something else, some other genre mixed in with a comic book hero, because that's what I really love. I really love when, again, movies have a specific genre, but then there's another genre tied into it, and I think it's a really creative way to tell those stories.
Yeah, I think that's great. Clayface is going to be amazing. Hopefully get more horror projects like Scarecrow. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's on the table, and I think there's how they want to do that. It just depends on what a writer and a person with an idea comes up with. So if they have a good vision for it, I'm sure a Scarecrow movie could be great.
Scarecrow movie, or I just been pushing this for a lot, Mr. Pig. I just really like the concept.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Pig, I think that would be cool to see.
Just because you want to see more serial killers, and that's cool.
Maybe a Batman slasher movie. I would be down for that, where Batman fights, a serial killer. Like, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, they could do something like that. I think that's something
Man-Bat horror would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd love to see a Man-Bat horror. I'd love to see a because they did it in animated form. I'd be curious to see if they ever do it in live action. I'd like to see a Batman, especially since we're doing the DCU, we're doing Fantastical. I'd like a Batman versus Dracula type of story. Because if we're gonna really live in the fantastical world, I think we could really do something cool with Dracula. I think that would be really cool. Have you heard of Fright Night? It's a vampire movie.
I've not heard of Fright Night. I don't know much about that.
I don't know much about Fright Night, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to dig into that, because I do love vampires.
You're giving her good recommendations.
Yeah, the last vampire, I think Nosferatu was a really good.
We both really love that movie.
But I do hope that after Nosferatu we get even more, even better gothic horror. Like, I'm really excited for Netflix's Frankenstein with Maya Goth and Oscar Isaac. I think that's going to be really good. I think Jacob Elordi's in it, and I think he is playing Frankenstein's monster. So I think that's going to be really good. And I'm also excited for, even though Knives Out Glass Onion wasn't that good to me, I am excited for this new one with, I think Jeremy Renner is in it.
What kind of those two versions, and the second one has Colin Farrell? For Fright Night.
I didn't know Colin Farrell was on Fright Night. We'll have to.
I'd check it out. That's pretty cool.
But anyways, I was saying, for the third Knives Out movie, that has like a southern gothic horror to it, and I'm very intrigued, and I hope that has better mystery.
Oh, are they saying that they're gonna do that?
Yeah, there's a trailer out for it. I don't know if you watched it yet, but Jeremy Renner's in it.
Yeah.
And there's another. Oh, I forgot her name, but this actress that Mom and I both really like from Scandal, who played Olivia Pope. If you guys ever seen the Scandal TV series, she's in it. So the cast sounds really good to me. So I'm hoping this third Knives Out movie really bumps up the franchise and makes it better, because Glass Onion was kind of a flop.
I agree. I liked the first movie. I did not like the second movie.
I've already answered this question, Richard Ladd. Saw franchise, I think the first one's good, but it's not a franchise that I am personally super into. I don't think it's bad, but it's also just, it doesn't pique my interest, personally. It's not my kind of horror. What else? Is there something else that we've missed?
Yeah, that's pretty intense body horror stuff. I think we're up to date.
Okay, well, so speaking of, I know that somebody brought up It earlier, so my thing is that I really love the first It movie, 2017. I know that there's mixed reactions on It too, and I do agree with some of the critiques on the sequel, but I personally don't think it's that bad. And I will be honest, when I first heard about Welcome to Derry, the prequel TV show, I also had no interest in it. I thought it was dumb. I'm like, why are we doing this? Because I think it is one of those series where once the main characters defeat the monster, you can't really continue it in a good way me personally. But since this is a prequel, I guess it can work because it's before the main loser club comes in. But then I watched the trailer, and so far, I really do like the vibe of the trailer. I think it has the possibility of being a fun kind of darker take on like a Scooby-Doo mystery, or kind of like what Joey said earlier, like Dark Goonies. Like, I think it could be fun. Again, my thing is that because it is a TV show, and I personally just don't care for horror shows in the TV show format, because I feel like it just doesn't work as well. I'm just really wondering if they will make Pennywise more scarier than he was in the films. That's what I hope, because I think the only thing that could ruin the Welcome to Derry show is that it's a mess up on Pennywise actually being a threat, because of how
I think they need to make him a bigger threat, because he's dealing with more than just the Losers Club. So the reason why I'm excited about this project is because I questioned, even though I've read the book, I questioned from the previous two movies, what was it like with Pennywise coming from outer space, right? Mm-hmm. To come to Earth and to disguise himself as other forms. And we saw in the second movie that he doesn't just go after children. He sometimes will feed on adults too. So yeah, I would like to know is there a difference between tricking an adult than tricking a kid? Like, is it harder? Like, the reason a lot of his things worked with the Losers Club is that even when they're kids, he had already had an impact on them. Well, yeah, but what happens if he starts getting an impact to someone that he hasn't interacted with before?
Well, the thing is that the reason why Pennywise goes after kids is because they're more easier to scare, but he can go after adults. And again, like you said, the reason why he goes after the adult versions of the losers is that he's already made an impact on them, and that it's easier for him to traumatize them more.
Yep.
And we did see in the opening of it too that he did eat adults. Already, but I do agree that maybe we should see more variety in his victims, I suppose, in the prequels.
I just want to see him be more clever with his disguises, like kind of seeing like what would he try to convince people that he's maybe doesn't seem as bad as he is, but he actually is bad.
To answer Tara, with Child's Play and Chucky. Child's Play and Chucky as a franchise as a whole, I think it's fun. I really like it. It's kind of campy, and I really do love the director of it. I think my favorite and best one is Chucky's Bride. I think that's probably the best one. But for Chucky, for me is that, like, it's not a franchise where it doesn't scare me, and I really like to get into horror movies that actually scare me. Chucky and other films like Chucky, from time to time, those are fun. Where like, okay, you're just seeing this kind of crazy thing happening, and they're really funny, and those are good films on their own. But I personally, as a horror, like more specifically on the horror scary aspect of Chucky, it does not do that much for me. What else? The Until Dawn. Yeah, I heard that movie. I was going to see that movie, but the problem with the movie of Until Dawn is that it had nothing to do with the actual video game. It was just sharing the same title, and I do think the video game is just overall better. It is a shame that it couldn't have gotten a better movie adaptation, but I do think when it comes to horror video games, for me, horror video games are actually more scary than watching a horror film, because you're kind of forced to make dumb decisions in horror games, and I think it heightens your senses because you're forcing yourself to walk into the scary dark woods even though you don't want to, but you have to because you need to continue the story.
Yeah.
And I also just think some video games should just stay video games, and even though it would be cool to see a TV show or a movie adaptation of them, I do think games like Until Dawn should stay in its game form because that's where it's better perceived.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Jaws? I don't have big, strong opinions on Jaws. I think it's just okay. I do think it's definitely those franchises where it can't go on anymore, and I think however it ended, it should just stay ended. And again, I think it's one of those films where like maybe the first or two of them were really good, but then the more it continued on, the more it stretched out, that it lost its like it lost its charm and like hype around it. But those kind of films also just aren't personally my thing with Jaws. Instead of Jaws, when it comes to like animals in horror films, I really love Cujo, because that's kind of sad, because Cujo again is like I kind of, not all the time, but I do like horror films where like the killer or the villain doesn't want to be the villain but has to be. And that's the sad thing about Cujo, is that Cujo is a good dog, but he got sick. I believe it was rabies, so then he went crazy. The book does it better than the movie, I would say, but the movie's still good. And again, I kind of miss kind of those horror movies where the bad guy doesn't want to be the bad guy exactly, but has to be, and still has to be defeated in some way, because I think those are compelling stories. Also, there's 30 Days of Night. I'm not aware of that one. I'm going to answer Retrolad and the Walking Dead expert. Hold up. So, Retrolad, hopefully the Weapons director does a good job with the new Resident Evil movie. He's a fan of the games and knows the lore. Yeah, even though Weapons, I thought Weapons was okay. I think the hard thing about Weapons is that it was such a big mystery that no matter how the director would have answered the mystery, there's going to be people who have different takes on how the mystery was solved. Some people are really going to love it, some people are going to hate it, or some people are mixed on it. I do still think Weapons was still a decent movie, and I do think the director has a strong creative vision. So I am pretty hopeful with the new Resident Evil movie, and I do think he has less stress on him because he's using new characters rather than the previous characters in the game, so he has more creative freedom, and maybe with that creative freedom he can make something really good. And then thoughts on Jeepers Creepers. Now, I recently watched the first Jeepers Creepers, and I plan on watching the other ones. I know that after the second one, the franchise kind of goes downhill. But when I first watched Jeepers Creepers, I thought it was like a better version of It, because the monster is a little similar to the way that Pennywise works, but it's more effective, and I think he was more scarier than Pennywise. The thing about Jeepers Creepers as a franchise as a whole is that, unfortunately, the director, I think, or the creator, is not a good person. You can do your own research on that. So the franchise has died because of association with that man. But I do believe it could make a good comeback if it's given to better people. But I just don't know what it could be. And also, even though the franchise and the movies itself are good because of its association with the original creator, I think people are a little scared to touch it and don't want to tarnish it and themselves with doing a movie like that again. So I don't think we're going to see Jeepers Creepers again for a long time. But I do still think that it is a good movie on its own, and that it's one of the best horror films to me.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh, when we saw Weapons, so Toxic Avenger, that's coming out, which I thought is very interesting. Toxic Avenger, from what I remember, the first film, there's also a comic book about it. It's essentially this man who gets some sort of radioactive, something goes wrong, and he deforms or something. But even though he looks like a monster, he's a hero. And like, he still gets the girlfriend in the end. Like, it's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast kind of take, but with the Toxic Avenger. I don't know much about that franchise, though. I will be honest. And Peter Dinklage will be starring in as the Toxic Avenger himself. And I also pretty sure he's the one who's promoting and giving money to make this film work. So even though there's not much to talk about there, I do think that's interesting, and I'm somewhat intrigued by the new Toxic Avenger film, and I was really surprised that I knew the franchise was gonna make a comeback, but I just didn't expect Peter Dinklage of all people to do it, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, Toxic Avenger looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Evil Dead franchise?
Not fully. I know that that new one wasn't that great, I think, right?
Actually, a lot of people liked it.
Really?
I
kept seeing kind of mixed or negative reactions to it.
Well, it was mixed, but people have to look at it like, some people just want to see, they need to understand that the old movies, this was kind of a newer take. Mm-hmm. And you got to have to accept that. And then when you accept that there can be newer takes with newer characters, then, because people are still connected to that franchise because the lead character of Bruce Campbell, they even did a TV show with Bruce Campbell. But the whole thing, I think, is, Kenna, you played the Resident Evil games or Silent Hill games?
This Resident Evil games and Silent Hill games, I haven't been actually played for myself yet. But I've always watched, Let's Plays of them, so I'm caught up on the lore and stuff. But even though I think it's hard to kind of rate a game when you haven't played it yourself, but from what I've seen from other YouTubers playing Resident Evil and Silent Hills, I do think that they are good games, story-wise. And though I know that there's already been in the past Resident Evil and Silent Hill movies, I do think that they could get a better adaptation. And I also believe with Silent Hill, another movie wouldn't be bad, but I think Silent Hill is one of those franchises where, even though I know that I have a hard time getting into horror TV shows most of the time, I do think I would be more intrigued to watch a mystery show about Silent Hill, and I think that could work in that format. For me, it just depends on what the specific thing the media will be about, and whether or not it would be good either in a movie format or a TV show format. So I think Resident Evil is better in a movie format, and I think Silent Hill could be better in a TV show format. But either way, they're both really good games by themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that's great.
Not to get. I know that the third episode of Alien Earth has dropped. I've yet to watch it, but I am caught up on 1 and 2.
Oh, the third one already dropped this early?
The third. Well, I don't know when. I think it dropped sometime today or maybe later. I don't know the timeline, what exact time, but I do know it's going to be dropping today, the third episode. Hold on. Let's see. Resident Evil games and live action should be TV. Should be TV each season. Yeah, Resident Evil could also work as a TV show. Again, I think it's just more like, okay, who's in control, like who's on the team and who can make it work and make it good. So I think that's just one of those things of like, yeah, you can do this, but will it work with the right people? That's just one of those things. But yeah, with Alien Earth, not to go into heavy spoilers, I'll just talk about it very lightly. I just didn't really care for the first episode. I did not really like it, but then I pushed through and I watched the second one, and I thought the second one was way better. I won't give my fully formed opinion until episode 5 because I feel like it's rushed to already make your opinion on a show that only has 3 episodes out. I think you should really think about it until like the 5th or 6th episode of a show to see if it's really good. My thing is that quality-wise, it's not bad, but I really do miss the original meaning of the Alien films, and they have yet to it's sci-fi horror, but they're so focused on the technology of it, and that's where it loses me. I'm like, okay, but like with this technology, what makes it scary? The premise is there, but you really got to push it. And again, it's only been 3 episodes, so I'm just kind of being a little nitpicky, and I know that hopefully as it develops more, my expectations are met, or maybe you might even surprise me in some ways. But I really do miss the original feel that the Alien movies did have, and I've yet to really gotten that feel with this TV show. But again, I could be wrong. As the show continues to go on, it does fulfill my need for that. I do like how it's already off the bat with the xenomorphs are in it. They don't save it till like the very end. I think that's a good I think it has good pacing with the xenomorphs, and again we're learning more history. And then I do understand that the show is set 2 years before the first Alien film, but because of that, I really hope that again it does kind of go back to its original meaning and representation of what Aliens is supposed to be as a series. And I also say the same thing for Predator. I am excited for the new Predator movie. I do think that looks really good. I really love Elle Fanning, I believe it, as an actress. I think she's going to be good. And I am hoping that both Predator and Alien franchises, I think, even though the Alien and they've already done Alien versus Predator already, but those are kind of just like for fun kind of fight, movies, just seeing those two creatures fight, and there's not really any lore to it. Really, I really do hope maybe we can see another crossover of those two again, but in a way better, compelling story way.
That'd be cool. So Walking Dead expert said Alien Romulus was a great movie. Yeah, I liked Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus was good.
I see Retrolette said you didn't like the ending. I didn't really have an issue with the problem. I liked the movie.
Yeah, the ending has kind of mixed on people, but I think it's good for what we've gotten for the Alien franchise recently, because before Alien Romulus, the franchise was kind of getting a little in trouble of like, oh, is it even good anymore? But I think Alien Romulus did save it.
Yeah.
And hopefully this Alien Earth TV show does the same.
Yeah, I mean, we still got more episodes to do, so. Hopefully.
The Lost Boys. Oh, I did see that one. That is also like a vampire movie. I don't have much to say about it that I don't think that like nothing new that people have already said. I do like it. It's not my favorite. Again, that's probably just why I don't have any strong opinions on it, but I do think it's good. And I do think the premise of that film, I do think we could see it again in maybe a new version in that way.
Since you like horror stuff so much, and I know you're not crazy on horror TV shows, but did you watch the original Buffy?
No, I never got into Buffy.
Because you're a vampire person, I definitely would recommend Buffy. And I know Tara would also recommend Buffy.
I am. Even though I know that I probably should watch the original series, I am willing to check out the new continuation / reboot that's in the works. And I think maybe because then if it's in its new, like it's more, like if it's being made now, it might be better. Maybe. I don't know. There's not much that I know about the new reboot, but all hands on deck from like the original actor and actress and all the other people there. So I do think it will be a good continuation if it's done.
Yeah, right. they're looking good so far. I've heard some pretty good stuff. I heard they were doing stunt training and stuff, and that there was that Sarah's getting in good shape and everything for the role. So, because she's kind of up there in age now.
Yeah, you plan on making a video about it, maybe more in detail.
Yeah, I will be soon.
So if you want more news, you'll just have to wait for Joey's video.
That was weird that the lights in my place just kind of flickered for a minute, almost like funny we're doing a horror movie podcast, and then it just like
it's a ghost.
Someone's flickering. Trying to think, what's the next big? So obviously we have The Conjuring. What's the next big? Is The Conjuring the next big horror thing you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm trying to think if there's something else that is. I mean, there's obviously the Welcome to Derry. That does pique my interest. I guess for me, I am trying to just do my bucket list of watching the classic old films from like the 80s because I wasn't born around then, so I couldn't see those when they first released. So my thing has just been obviously excited for new horror stuff, but also trying to.
I still need to
What's the
watch
class-
28 Years Later. That's been on my list for a while.
Yeah, 28 Years Later was really good, and then
Oh, did you watch it? Is it streaming somewhere now?
Oh, wait. I'm thinking of the first one. 28 Years Later is the recent one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of 28 Days Later. Sorry. 28 Days Later was good. And then 28 Weeks was okay. And then 28 Years, it didn't do bad from what I've seen, but I also kind of had mixed reactions from fans, so I don't know. Dusk Till Dawn is a great vampire movie. That is true. The last thing that I did watch was the AMC TV show version of Interview with the Vampire, and season 3 is in the works, and that's really good. I still gotta watch the film with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in it to compare it, because it was the film first and then the TV show, but the TV show is obviously way better than the movie because it's more accurate to the books.
Right.
And season 3 is in the works, so I am excited for that. No official release date has been announced, but a bunch of different behind-the-scene photos have leaked of Lestat and such, so I am excited for Interview with the Vampire to continue as a series. Van Helsing, okay, so I tried. That's the one with Hugh Jackman in it as a vampire. Yeah, that one. Okay, that one is. That movie is definitely one of those movies where I'm like, okay, this was obviously made in the early 2000s because it was. I do think I watched it recently, a long time ago, on Hulu, and I thought it was good, but I do think because of when it was made, it did drag on a lot, and it was very like. It was just like fun vampire hunting movies, so like it didn't need to be deep or anything. But it for me it was just an okay movie.
Someone said, Walking Dead expert asked, have you seen the Scary Movie parody movies?
I do think those are funny.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I think I've only seen the first one. I have yet to watch like the others. I do think those movies, honestly, should make a comeback with better comedy writers too. I think.
The Scary Movies are making a comeback. There's a new one coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I hope the new Scary movie is good. I especially hope they make some very good, clever jokes with the recent horror films that have been out, because each Scary movie is about the previous horror movies that were made in their time. So I'm hoping that they make good fun of the recent horror movies that have been released this year.
I agree.
Please tell me, have you seen The Thing? Yes, I have seen The Thing, the Kurt Russell one. I've seen that movie twice. I do love The Thing. That is one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite movies. I did not see the 2011 version, but I know that's not good, so I don't plan on watching that one. That one's like the bad prequel sequel one. But I do love the 1987? Maybe 1980. I don't remember the time, but I really do love The Thing with young Kurt Russell in it, and I thought it was just it's just really good with the practical effects and the acting, and like you would think the premise wouldn't really work because it's just a bunch of dudes stuck in, in their little shelter in the middle of like the Antarctic, but it really worked really good as like a mystery, who's the imposter, like thriller alien horror movie, and it worked really well.
Shaun of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. He wants to know.
I've not seen Shaun of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I do know what movies they are, but I have not seen them personally. Pet Sematary. I have not seen any of the movies of Pet Sematary. I think Pet Sematary is one of those Stephen King projects where I think I would rather read the book rather than watch the movies, but that's just me. Speaking of Stephen King, there is going to be a new Carrie. And I have mixed feelings on it because I do love the first Carrie movie. And then I heard the 2013 TV show remake, I think, or the 2013. There was some remake in 2013. It was either a TV show or a movie. That one was good, but I am concerned about this new one because I feel like Carrie again. they're just, from what I can tell, I don't know who's playing Carrie. I don't know who the actress is specifically, but the thing about Carrie is that, she's bullied because she's not up to the beauty standards. But the thing about Carrie from the first movie and the other remakes is that they cast, obviously very pretty girls. And obviously, I'm not saying just because you may not look super ugly, that doesn't mean you can't get bullied, because I do think those stories are good and they should be portrayed. But with Carrie, the whole thing about the pig's blood is because she is, a fat, acne-ridden teenage girl. And from what I can tell, from what I've been hearing from reports about the new Carrie actress, is that it does seem that they picked another pretty girl, which again, I don't think she's going to be bad acting-wise, but I do think... I don't see the point of making another Carrie adaptation if it's not going to be accurate to what Carrie is in the books, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Chloe in the Carrie remake is too pretty for the role. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, no disrespect to these actresses, because I think they're great. And even though the first Carrie girl, she didn't fit the standards of how Carrie is supposed to be in the book, I thought she was great in the way of, like, not only is Carrie bullied because that she's not up to date to the beauty standards, but, she also has this religious trauma from her mother. So I thought she did a great acting portrayal of that when it comes to her relationship with her mother. And I hope they keep that the same with this new Carrie. And also Carrie's just like one of those really good, simple kind of horror movies that are horror story that's classic, that this adaptation is that, again, because it's not accurate, why are we even making it in the first place? And if they do offer something new to it, will the new thing that they add to the story, will it make or break it of making it even worthwhile to see? That's the question. Yeah, the mother is nuts. Yeah.
The first Pet Sematary used to scare me when I was 7 years old. Dang.
And there's a movie, speaking of Stephen King, I watched The Shining, and I don't know, maybe I just didn't watch it in the right state of mind that I did at that time, but I think it's a visually a beautiful film, and I do love Shelley Duvall, and again, all the actors in it were great, but I don't know, I couldn't, maybe I just watched it at the wrong time, but I really couldn't
do you want to know a crazy hot take is that people might think I'm crazy for?
What?
I like the sequel more than I like The Shining. I think Dr. Sleep is a fantastic film. It's in probably my top 10 favorite horror movies, because
it's good, yeah.
It's really good because it's different, and you feel like. Also, I'm a sucker because it does help. It does help that Obi-Wan Kenobi is the lead character, but he does a good job.
Seen the Blade movies? Joey has seen them. We tried doing a watch party, but unfortunately, Blade movies aren't.
They're on Paramount now. I found out they're coming to Paramount, which is interesting.
Interesting. I don't have Paramount, so
maybe you'll have to come. Maybe you'll have to come over and we'll watch them together and do like a watch party when we're in the same room. So you can watch Blade. That'd be fun.
Because again, Blade, that was made in the early 2000s. I wasn't alive.
Early 2000s. So yeah, Blade is classic. The first two are great. Trinity, The second they bring Ryan Reynolds in is kind of
a little off topic, but I do think Ryan Reynolds, I know he's great as Deadpool and all, but I really do think after maybe Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, he should just take a break from the spot.
Time to retire. Time for him
to just relax a little bit. I think he's kind of those actors that have been a little overdone.
I feel it.
Respectfully. I'm trying to think. What else?
Well, in a minute, because I don't know what time Luke's going to get done with his thing, but I was thinking, because of the flow of the topics, it might be a good time, even though it's only 5:03. I think most of our topics are pretty absolved. We could just go into direct Q&A and see how the Q&A is going, where people can ask questions about anything, and then we can just answer them. And then if the show's still going good and we're still having a good flow, we can keep it running for a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I plan to wrap at 6 o'clock, but if we have to wrap before 6, that's fine too.
Okay.
So we're just going to go directly into Q&A, guys. So this is the part of the show where you can ask questions of other topics besides just horror. We'll take any movies, TV shows, video games, everything. Silent Hill F looks good. Yeah, they showed that during Gamescom today. That looks pretty good. So yeah, Q&A definitely is open now, guys. You can talk about anything now, and we'll answer everything, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, there was a pretty good show. Definitely a lot of horror games today in the Game Awards. Oh yeah, let's talk about Lego Batman. Yeah, Lego Batman looks great, man.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That caught me off guard completely when they dropped that. I was like, what? We're getting Lego Batman? This is awesome.
I do think since DC games have been kind of flopping, I do think this is their big comeback and their savior to being good.
Hey, Brandon. I mean, Batman should always be the savior for DC. It just makes sense.
True.
Superman may be their lighthearted character, but Batman is their most profitable character.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can make an argument that Spider-Man and Batman are probably the most well-known superhero of all time. Like, Superman's well-known, but if you do the math, there's more Batman movies and games, same as Spider-Man, compared to Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy. But no, I'm excited I'm glad that the Legos finally moved away from the Star Wars franchise and they're actually doing Batman again, because I love the Lego Batman games. And this one looks fun. It looks like a really fun game. I think it'd be fun playing through that adventure. Curious to see what the voice acting is going to look like. Like, a lot of people thought they'd just get Will Arnett for Batman because the Lego movie. You can stay here and chat with us, Dog Lover. We're just keeping it the way we are doing it right now to keep it professional.
Yeah, you can ask questions in the chat, but it will be just the two of us.
We're doing Q&A right now. Kay's only seen the Batman and the Penguin. I'm going to show her the other Batman movies in animated series soon. Oh, that's cool.
Cool. Yeah, really, really pushing for Batman Beyond video game, hopefully.
I love a Batman Beyond video game. Especially if the same team that made the Arkham would be cool. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight looks like the ultimate mashup of Lego Batman 4 and 6th Arkham game. Oh yeah, that's a good matchup.
Oh, to stay on horror a little bit, I just remember that, speaking of Welcome to Darius, since Bill Skarsgård is coming back as Pennywise, what happened with that 2024 Crow movie or whatever?
It's out. It's out. It was released in theaters. I don't think it did very well.
No, it did not do well.
But I got to see where it's streaming because I wanted to watch it too. I've heard it got atrocious reviews, but I think too many people were just comparing it to the original.
That too, I also think from what I've been told, because I never read the original Crow comics, but I did watch videos about it to understand the story, and I do think it was one of those things where, like, yes, it's a new take, but it doesn't do anything that's accurate to the original story, and it hurts it. So I think it's also the comparison to the original, obviously, but also it's just not accurate to the story whatsoever. So I think that, for hardcore fans of The Crow, it turned them off from it. But it's not DC, but if we were to do another, like, superhero or comic book subgenre with, like, a horror franchise, I would really love Spawn to make a comeback.
It'd be cool to see Spawn. I think they're working on a new Spawn film. I heard something about that.
Oh, really? I would like to see Spawn again, or maybe a Spawn video game. I don't know.
A Spawn game would be cool. I think we're getting a movie pretty soon. So I think Spike Lee said something about it recently, because Spike Lee likes Spawn and we wanted to return to it. I think McFarlane also has talked about it before.
Yeah, I just really like Spawn, so I would appreciate a comeback. Kay's enjoying Peacemaker, but she said Penguin is better. That's fair.
Well, you have to look at them as different shows, though. I feel like it's impossible, because the thing you need to understand is you can't compare those two, because watching the Penguin, you have to understand that there's two different visionaries, right? So the people working on the Penguin, they're going for a straight up Sopranos in the DC world. Yeah, well,
you also have to understand that Kay might just overall prefer that genre over than what Peacemaker is. I don't think saying Penguin is Like if she likes Penguin better, I get that. Like
I just wanted to explain the logic between the two, because if you like the difference, it's good to know that there's a different reason. Like for me, I enjoy both shows. I think that Penguin is the more, if I need to sit down and watch something that I want to really enjoy, like from the acting performance perspective, I would watch the Penguin. But at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily say that's true, because for me, one of the most mind-blowing part of Peacemaker is it's not just comedy. It has a more comedic tone, but you're getting really good acting and seeing these stories through these characters. And what I like about Peacemaker is that, while I like the Penguin, I know Batman lore, I know the Batman characters. The advantage I give to Peacemaker is I don't know too many of these newer characters. So I like that I get to see.
Refreshing, yeah. Refreshing.
Yeah, it feels refreshing and fresh to me. But I still love the Penguin as its own thing. I think it's great to expand the Batman lore. And if you really love the Batman, I love the Batman, so I understand. But like if you love something like that, then that's awesome. Like it's totally cool. Joe, are you going to finish Hogwarts Legacy before the Harry Potter reboot and review the movie/books? Yes, I will. I will be getting on that as soon as possible.
Dear Brandon, could Lego Batman game explore other places from Arkham games and DLC packs outside the movies, like Wonder City, GCPD Lockup, Monarch Theater, and Final Offer, Penguin Ship? And then he also said, I hope the games bring back character customization again, because fans were upset it wasn't in Skywalker Saga. Yeah, more customization is always fun in video games.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I'd like to make my bat suit like the Joker, but like Batman, like they have in some of the comic book cosplays I've seen. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd love to be the Joker, but have a Batman suit. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, and also AJ.
Yeah, welcome AJ.
And then with the whole DLC packs, I think DLC packs are always fun, but I also think I understand why there's DLC packs, because it's, to make more money, but I do think it would be smart for video games to offer more things already the first time you purchase the game, and then do some fun DLCs.
Yeah, they can add some downloadable content. Okay, Dog Lover asked us, are you two getting on Rivals after?
I might not. I actually might. I'll be on. I'll probably be on my PS5, but I plan on playing Jedi Fallen Order first.
Oh, you're playing Fallen Order? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
Well, if you want to be on for a little bit, you can. But since we're in the Q&A section, I'm gonna go see Nobody. Nobody 2, that is. But then I might come on for a minute or two for a couple matches. I do want to play some Rivals tonight. I after my competitive matches went so well, I'm itching to get some games in.
Yeah, I probably won't be playing Marvel Rivals until much later in the night. So.
Well, if I'm still awake and you want to play, you can always holler at me. So.
Yeah. I'll be playing some solo games by myself first for a while.
Yeah, well, it's always nice to warm up and stuff. But I'm glad I'm hoping you're enjoying Fallen Order. What part of the story are you at?
Well, I haven't started it yet. That's why I'm saying that I'll be.
Okay, that's a good start. Yeah, Fallen Order has a superior story, where Survivor has the better gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fallen Order still has.
I'm planning on getting Survivor 2 after I'm done with Fallen Order.
Survivor you'll like because the gameplay and the customization is pretty fun. Fallen Order is really good, and the gameplay. I'm not saying the gameplay is bad, but I think that it just gets improved in the sequel. Like, I feel like for the first game, it is very good gameplay. And the lightsaber customization and the way the story reasons are set up, it's very good. Out of curiosity, Joe, is there a way it's just we picked our team and we're trying to focus on interviewing content creators, so we have to leave slots open. So it's nothing personal. It's nothing you can really do. It's just we did proper interviews to do this properly done. And then now we're looking for specific talent that are actual creators to build my community up as well as other communities up as well. It's just a part of the job.
What's 2 + 2? 4.
The answer is 4. She's
4.
Right.
4.
But no, yeah. So I think that's that's cool that you're playing. That's one of my favorite games. So I watch Call of Duty, Black Ops trailers. It's okay. because copy same game Cyberworld. It's bored.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get that game. I'm over that franchise.
I stopped playing Call of Duty after Black Ops 3. I think that's the only good one. I don't know. To me, it is.
I like Black Ops 2.
But I mean, the first 3 games are good, but my personal favorite is the third one.
I liked Cold War. Cold War was fun.
I just think it's one of those game franchises that, like, how long can you push this? Like, you can't. It's a dying franchise.
Sure. GTA 6 and Lego Batman next year, plus good movies. I'm sorted.
Yeah, GTA 6. Yeah.
You don't have to have a sad face about a dog lover. It's just the way it is for business. You have to think of this like a business. And, we have a specific structure because there's a specific way that we want to do things. And it has to be handled professionally. And it's not that you couldn't be professional. It's just we already made our decision. We can't rotate and flip-flop. We picked our individual teams, and then now we're trying to get guest stars. And then when we get guest stars, we have to make sure that they enter a professional environment. No, it's not that. It's sad face because I won't be able to join and have a wonderful conversation about that.
Well, here's the thing.
One of my favorite topics. You can still have the conversation with us.
Yeah, you can still have the conversation with us. You'll just be typing in chat, and we'll always make sure to answer your questions and respond to you.
Yep, you're still feeling like it.
It's just that it would be hard to have you up here with all of us because, again, Joey wants it to be very consistent and very, strict and professional. But, again, it's nothing personal. And we want you to be a part to talk about the things that you also love because we all love comic books and etc.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this more professional because this is something that I want to, when I get better equipment and get better money, I want to, if this show becomes very successful, I would love to get something like an amazing honor. Like maybe I get to have a Comic-Con panel or something where we get to do like live episodes at like an actual place, like that's one of my goals. Is to bring this to more than just sitting in my apartment doing podcasts with people across the room. Eventually it elevates to people across like different locations. Like, everyone meets up in San Diego or everyone meets up like the John Campea show or something. Yes, that's exactly a good.
Brandon said, do you think any popular comic book suits like Absolute Batman, Ben Affleck's Armored Batman, Batman Animated Series Batman, and Batman Beyond will be in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight?
Well, it's called Legacy of the Dark Knight, so I think you could ask that. Yeah, I might have to become strict with my Cobra Kai podcast myself. Yeah, it's good to know to have a structure, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's all about consistency. That's all.
Yeah, it's all about consistency and figuring it out, and that's okay. No, but that's cool. Yeah, definitely do what you had to do for your show. Man, I'm getting hyped to watch this movie. I don't know why. Yeah. I love Bob Odenkirk.
I'll probably watch the 3rd episode of Alien Earth first, and then play some Star Wars games.
Yo, Media Merchant, what's going on? Hopefully they make a tribute to Kevin Conroy in the game. Well, they probably will. I'm sure we'll probably see Kevin Conroy's Batman represented very well. I'm not a fan of the critic called Adam. Is it Does? Or Adam Does movies? Has he been saying some pretty weird things? I don't think I've heard of this Adam Does movies.
Yeah, me neither.
Is he a newer YouTuber or has he been around for a while? Some of these critics, it's kind of hard. Like, I try my very best for my limited stuff to give you guys the most positive take on movies. I always try to give. Oh, you want us to rank our Harry Potter movies? Okay. You want to go first, Ken, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I know my order, so I'll go.
I don't even know.
Let's see. So, Order of the Phoenix, Prisoner of Azkaban. So I'm going to do best, and then I'll do worst. So, Order of Phoenix, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Deathly Hallows, Part 1, then Part 2, then Chamber of Secrets, the first Harry Potter movie, and then my last place, I have The Half-Blood Prince.
Oh.
Now here's why this is my order. Okay, Half-Blood Prince. If you've read the book, don't watch the movie, because Half-Blood Prince is nothing like the book. The book is so good. Like if you didn't read the book, you could enjoy it, but no, man, the book is so good.
I can never get into the books themselves because I just think J.K. Rowling's not that good of a writer. So I couldn't really get into even the first Harry Potter book. Yeah. I really tried in like 5th grade, but I just personally couldn't get into it. But I did like the movies. How many movies are there? I'm writing it down. There's like 7?
There's 8 technically because we're just ranking the regular Harry Potter movies, not the Fantastic Beasts ones. I think those are different movies. So.
No, I didn't like the second Fantastic Beasts, but I did like the first one. It's funny that you have the Half-Blood Prince on the bottom of your list because I actually have it on number 1.
You love Half-Blood Prince, huh?
Yeah, I just think it's good. I don't know. I obviously understand why.
Because you didn't read the books, right? If you didn't read the books.
See, I understand why you don't like it because it's not accurate to the book, but because I don't care about the book series, I think it's fine. I think my second one is The Prisoner of Azkaban,
which was my second one, so that's a good list.
And then my third one is The Goblet of Fire.
I love The Goblet of Fire.
And then the rest of them, the Deathly Hallows were. The rest of them I don't really know how to place. I think the Half-Blood Prince and The Prison and Goblet are like my only top 3. I think the rest are good, but I can't really order them properly.
I feel like for me, the reason I chose the 5th movie is more for a couple reasons. So one, nostalgia bait because I saw it in IMAX when it first came out, and that was a really cool experience. Goblet of Fire is okay. The third task was horrible in the movie. Yeah, that's fair. Everything, Brandon. He's talking about the Batman suits. Yeah, one of the reasons I love it too is 2 of my favorite actors are in that movie, and they get to fight each other, and I love it. I love seeing Gary Oldman and Jason Isaacs interact together. Like I love one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when you get to see the big battle unfold where they're getting ready to fight at the Ministry, and you see Sirius played by Gary Oldman pops out of nowhere, and then he just punches Lucius Malfoy in the face.
Yeah.
And he says, "Get away from my godson," because he's trying to tell Harry to give him the prophecy. And I love that movie ends with Harry with Dumbledore and Voldemort fighting in their, because you never thought we would see the 2 wizard battles between those 2, and I really like how they show how masterful they are in their magic levels. It feels very reminiscent. It's the Harry Potter equivalent to Emperor Palpatine versus Yoda.
I will say the last movie of the Harry Potter series is really good. I like the way that it did. Which movie is the one that Dobby dies in? Which one is that again? Where Dobby?
That's very true, Tara. That's very true.
Dobby dies.
Dobby died in the first part of the last movie.
Okay, I like that one.
We got 10 people watching. Cool.
Very anti-Dobby. Sorry.
I like what you said, Harry. Retrolight here. Harry screaming on mute is painful in Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, I love the fact that they did the thing where they showed that Harry and Voldemort were linked in that way. It was really cool to see that psychological element. I love that part of the movie. And I love how they played with the idea how there was even times where when Harry was having these dreams, he thought he was the snake. Like, I thought that was really cool.
Deathly Hallows Part 1. Thanks, Retrolight. See, unlike if we were going to compare the 2 franchises like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, when it comes to like Gollum and Dobby, I despise Dobby. I can't like Dobby at all.
You should have been there when when we were playing the Alien game last night, Kenna, because I kept killing the xenomorphs and kept saying, "Tell Smeagol to get down," because he was crawling around. Brandon said, Red Death Batman suit and Batman Who Laughs would be awesome. Would look awesome in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Yeah, man. I think that's awesome. I'm going to have to replay the Lego Batman games, honestly, because that gets me excited. Dimitri, and he cried like a baby when Dobby died. Oh, God. pulling the Cobra Kai reference.
Maybe I'm heartless, but I just like I can't care about Dobby. I'm sorry.
So Microsoft copy, same game idea, Call of Duty Infinite War, Cyberworld it's back in Black Ops 7. I believe Microsoft have not idea storyline. Yeah, no, I agree. Dude,
it's just not
when it comes to the gaming wars, I'm just gonna say it. I know people are gonna hate my opinion. I will never buy another gaming Microsoft console or any kind, no matter what games they make for it. Because in my opinion, I think Nintendo and Sony and everything that they're doing, and obviously companies have issues. They make mistakes. There's things that raising prices and other things that aren't great. But in terms of your job as a company is to provide products for everyone and to keep making reasons for people to buy your console. And I just feel like, I know there are some people that are big Xbox players. Xbox, to me, as a company, we'll call them the next gen console wars, it is a dead console. And the reason why it is, and I know they're still making games for it, but the reason it's dead is every month or every couple of months, you're getting new original games that say, oh, you want to get a PS5? We got to get this game, right? And and same with Nintendo. And they're selling those products. When people think of Xbox, you know what they think of? Halo. Let's make another Halo game. Let's make another thing. It's always just Halo. Like people were saying, oh, you should get an Xbox because the Blade game's going out for Xbox. But just like the Indiana Jones game, it's going to come to PlayStation as well. So there's no need. It doesn't matter. It's like, so to me, that's my problem is like, there was a time where I loved both consoles because there were some games I liked on Xbox, but now there's no need because it doesn't matter. But Joe, Microsoft making their money away with PC. Yeah, I get it.
To answer Retrolad's previous comment before that, I want more Wizarding World projects like a Founders of Hogwarts series,
That'd be
James
cool.
Potter and his friends making the map, etc. See, that's the thing that I really liked about the first Fantastic Beasts is that it's still in the Harry Potter world, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Harry Potter because I think, again, even though I have reservations about this new TV show reboot, I know that people are excited because it's going to be more accurate to the books and whatever, but I personally, again, because I'm not really into Harry Potter as a whole in general, I don't have any really big hype around it or strong opinions, but I really do think that, and I think Star Wars is in the same boat too, is that, Harry Potter, obviously Harry Potter's the main character. He'll always be important and people love him. And kind of same thing with like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. But the more that they're trying to push more content with these IPs, the more I feel like it hurts the first time the story was done. And I think they do better with more original characters set in the same universe.
Yeah, I wish they would just make spin-offs of the stories.
The problem with Star Wars specifically, though, is that unlike Harry Potter, they have a strict timeline that they need to do, and I think that hurts them when they try to make new content. But I think the world of Harry Potter has way more creative freedom with it, and so maybe after the success of the reboot TV show, we can get more better spin-offs, prequels about it, and have more wizard stuff for fun. Yeah.
Underground asked, when is Mortal Kombat 2? That's going to be in October, my friend. It's going to be October. So
Fantastic Beasts 1 takes place in 1926, and that's when Voldemort is born. Yeah, like I know the sequel wasn't that good, but I really did love the first one. I really loved it. The first one's not a perfect film either, but I
actually liked the first two movies. I didn't like the last movie. The first two movies were good, but the third wasn't. I don't
think I watched the third one. I think I only watched 1 and 2.
Well, the problem is they had to recast the actor because it was the whole. Oh, what question did you have? Walking Dead. I didn't see your question.
Oh, what is McKenna's thoughts on Fast and Furious? Is that the question?
Oh yeah.
Not my kind of movies. I'm not a race car person. So
she's not a fan of them. It's not something that's for her.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad. I
personally enjoy them for what they are. As I call them, they're the Taco Bell movie. They're the movie that you like. You know, you love Taco Bell even though it's not good for you, but you just keep eating it, right? Because you know it tastes good. And so I feel like that's how you look at the Fast and Furious movies. Even if they get more and more ridiculous or more silly, you keep watching them because it keeps tasting good. You know, I'm really enjoying this burrito. I'm gonna keep eating it. It's that logic.
Retrolab says Nintendo is the best gaming company this generation. So my take on that is that as someone who does like Nintendo, I wouldn't call them the best with the way that they treat their fans of Nintendo, because you know a fan will try to make a fan game or you know try to show some appreciation towards Nintendo, and Nintendo's like, oh, cease and desist, you're done.
Yep.
And I'm like,
they
and also
messed up the timeline.
and also with like the Switch 2, I'm like, I don't care about the Switch 2. I'm fine with my first Switch, and you know, sorry, I'm not gonna pay an $80 Mario Kart game. That's stupid. And I know that's not really Nintendo's full fault. It is with the inflation and stuff, but also I'm just like, yeah, I am excited for more Nintendo movie projects like the Legend of Zelda and Super Mario 2 and 3.
Yeah, gotta get some more Super Mario movies. The first one was so great.
And Chris and Retrolad and I talked about this. I really hope we'll get a Super Mario Galaxy movie because I really love Rosalina. She's my favorite character.
That'd be cool. They messed up the timeline in Fantastic Beasts 2 because McGonagall shouldn't be there. She's a student in the 1950s. Yeah, that was weird that they did that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a weird one. But yeah, now we got your question, Walking Dead expert. It's just more of a question for me than it is for McKenna because she doesn't she's not into those movies.
I was like, I don't like Top Gun Maverick. I know, crazy take. Again, I just don't. Those kind of movies just aren't my personal thing. That's all. I don't care about.
Yeah, she's not a fan of.
Or like F1 or whatever. Again, just don't care about race cars or airplanes.
I think you would have liked F1 because it was more than just a racing movie. But yeah. I understand.
I don't know. I'm also just like, I don't really. Well, okay, not fully because there are some that I do like, but like when it's very like war movies, they're not my favorite. But I do like some of them though. But with like Top Gun Maverick, like. Just not my thing. That's all.
Oh, you saw the play Retrolad, or are you talking about the book?
I actually tried to. I remember I tried to read the Cursed Child and the book version, and I got more into it than the previous books. But yeah, it's not a good story. I just think it's so. What I hate about the Wizarding World world building is that I really hate the concept of the houses with the whole. If you're in Slytherin, you're evil. I just think that's dumb, and we shouldn't push that anymore, because the whole book, like, the book is about Harry Potter's son, and the son gets placed in Slytherin, and everyone's like, oh no, he's in Slytherin, not in Gryffindor. Like, I just think that's so dumb with, like, all the houses are good except for Slytherin, because I'm like, okay, then what's the point of having Slytherin as a house then? And there's so many good people and good things from the House of Slytherin that I just feel like, I don't know, I just think it's dumb to keep doing that concept again. I also think with Gryffindor, too, is that obviously, like, with J.K. Rowling's writing, she's like, Slytherin bad, and then Gryffindor is really good, and then Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff are just there, and I just wish maybe we got better spotlight. Hopefully, maybe in the TV show reboot, we'll get better spotlight on the other houses besides just Slytherin and Gryffindor.
Yep. How can Voldemort get someone pregnant when he was born by a love potion?
Well, if he was born by a love potion, then, like, he should just work anyway, like any other person. So I think he can. I mean, yeah, he wasn't born the way that most people are born, but because he's alive now, he can also get somebody pregnant. Like, I don't know.
That's a weird situation.
Magic's the answer because it's wizards. That's
wizards
the answer.
And magic. Yep, that's true. That's a weird one for sure. Mm-hmm. That's a weird one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder. Luke must really got it tied up on his other projects. 5:33. Let's see if we get any more questions.
Any more questions about other movies in general, or maybe more horror topics too?
More stuff interesting. I know I brought up the fact to you that, you know, other than like we talked a little bit about like Scarecrow and stuff, but I'd like to see not necessarily. It doesn't have to be. Oh, hey, Chosen. It doesn't have to necessarily be a horror. Like movie for that individual character, but just to focus on that character. If you remember Brave and the Bold, I really want to see something with Gentleman Ghost.
Oh yeah, Gentleman Ghost would be cool, like a cool ghost story. Again,
And I'm hoping in terms of horror on the Marvel side, I'm hoping we get more of the Midnight Suns, like in the new Marvel universe. I'm hoping like with this reboot, if it actually turns out being a good reboot, I'd love to see other than Blade, I'd love to see something like Man-Thing or some of the other Midnight Sun characters that aren't as familiar.
You also said that we have news about Marvel Zombies.
Yes,
you want to talk
that's
about that?
right. So apparently, when they said they were going to do this Marvel Zombies show, they had talked about that we were going to get a variant in there that there was going to be a Blade Moon Knight. And all reports of that when they first addressed it was that it was going to be Mahershala Ali's debut, so people could see what he would be like as Blade before the Blade movie. Because we did hear him in Eternals. Yeah, it's a surprise.
Yeah. If you have any questions, we talked about horror movies already a lot, so now
we talked about Welcome to Derry already. Chosen.
Yeah, we're just in the basic Q&A question, but if you still want to ask questions about horror, that's totally down.
So I was talking about this thing with zombies. But so apparently Mahershala Ali was announced today that he's not going to voice this variant of Blade. It's some other guy. I don't even remember what the actor's name was, but it was another African male, I guess is the best wording for it. And so I think that this is kind of a feeling that this Blade movie is pretty cooked, or at least for now.
Here's my take is that I understand maybe it can seem a little disheartening that he is not voicing Blade in this animated show, but the thing about voice actors is that not every Guardians of the Galaxy game or other appearance when it has Star-Lord, it's not always Chris Pratt. It's usually like AJ Locascio voicing him.
Right.
You know, Tony Stark in Marvel Rivals, that's voiced by Josh Keaton, who used to voice Spider-Man, but he's voicing...
Oh, does he do... I didn't even realize that he's in Marvel Rivals. That's awesome.
Yeah, he voices Tony Stark in Marvel Rivals. And the thing about voice acting is that, that's just like the thing is like, I personally don't care if the original movie actor is not voicing the animated version counterpart, because that's just the thing about, especially with comic book characters, the movie versions aren't just their only adaptation of these characters. So I think just having a different voice actor in general does not necessarily mean that the new Blade movie is going to be bad. And also, there could be the thing about maybe he's so busy filming the Blade movie that he can't come in to record the voice lines for the animated Blade version, I don't know, that's just my positive thinking.
AJ, I did a whole stream about the game thing earlier, so I covered all the games earlier.
It's on the YouTube channel, you can watch it.
Yeah. Hey, Chosen.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's up? So, I did a whole thing about it earlier. I did a whole stream, AJ. I like that it has zombies. I think the story is going to be utter garbage in that game. And I've lost the affinity for that, for those games, because they're just making them. Yeah, AJ, I live streamed the whole event, buddy.
Hold up. There was something. Okay, so earlier, Resholette says, where do you think DC games should go forward after Lego Batman? I think we definitely need better story-driven games besides just like Injustice.
It's time for a Superman game.
I say
give it to us.
Superman game. I want them to bring back Wonder Woman again. Maybe after her movie comes out. Maybe after Wonder Woman comes out, we get the Wonder Woman.
Give me my damn Green Arrow game finally.
The Green Arrow game. How about an actual proper Justice League game?
Let's build to that. We can build to that, but I want to get the individual character games, because so far for the last years, it's been Batman. Let's get a Wonder Woman game. Let's get a Flash game. Let's get a Superman game. Let's get a Green Arrow game. Hell, let's get a fucking Martian Manhunter game. And I don't know what that would look like, but give us the Justice League.
I'm just saying, like, I think Justice League game is that we have Avengers games, but a Justice League game, we really need one because, again, we've only gotten Injustice where the team is evil, and then we got that bad Suicide Squad one where they try to, against the team becomes evil. Like, we need an actual good Justice League video game. I understand that you wanted to build it up, and I'm down for that, but I just think in general we need a Justice League game.
Oh, we'll get a Justice League game. We also got let's see. I saw Rexalette said, like I said, Kenna to Joe, each DCU game should be year one games and in the past DC characters. Yeah, it'd be cool if there was like we saw the beginning years of them getting their powers and really playing around with that avenue, but then also imagine like past characters. Like I'd like to see a focus on the old JSA, like the old Justice Society, the Justice Gang. Like imagine playing as Guy Gardner, Wildcat, Starman, all those old characters.
Yeah.
Why do you have to bring out the Terrifier picture,
Because it's
Chosen?
horror. Oh, I guess let me say my take on Terrifier, since it's horror related. I am glad that it is ending the fourth film. And even though I personally don't like Terrifier, but I don't like it for the reasons that other people dislike it. Because people don't like it because it's either, oh, it's too much, it's too gory, it's too vulgar. That's not why I don't like it. Because I do believe, especially horror films, should push boundaries, especially within what we can take as audience in the film.
Yep.
But I just personally don't find them entertaining. Again, it's really because Art the Clown started as a slasher, and then he became a demon from hell. So I'm like, I just don't like that. It's just like, again, my personal thing, I just don't like it. So I don't find them entertaining story-wise. But I do really love the creator and the director, and I love that he uses practical effects, and I believe that his heart is in the right place, and I do believe he has strong creative vision. So after the fourth Terrifier movie comes out and that franchise is over, I am very excited what he comes up next, because he said he's going to still make more horror movies, just not Art the Clown related. So I am excited for that.
Dang.
Can I give my thoughts on it too? Because I do have a lot to say about this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I love this franchise, but I do agree with you. I just feel like I hope in the fourth movie they go back to what the first movie did. Because I loved the vibe from the first movie. I feel like the first movie is overhated. I feel like people hate on it way too much.
The first movie, it did suffer because they didn't write. I mean, Art the Clown has always been written well because he's somewhat of the main antagonist of the story, but the two characters that he goes after weren't written well. But I will give credit to the second and the third Terrifier movies, is that I think they write. I forgot her name. But the final girl, I think they wrote her really well. And I think that's another thing, is that I think people are sometimes too harsh when it comes to new directors making new movies, is that just allow them to make mistakes. Okay, he didn't write the main characters good in the first film. That's understandable. But then he got better as the story progressed. So I think, again, like I said, I do really appreciate him as a creator, and I'm excited to see him continue to grow to make better films after Terrifier.
Yeah.
Speaking of the fallen girl, I think her actor name is Laura Laverne. I think is that her name? If I can remember, I think that's her name. The actor's name that plays Sienna Shaw, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see how they end that character, because I do think in the fourth one, because I did hear, I don't know if this is true, the fourth one is supposed to be like their conclusion for the Art and Sienna rivalry,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they said they might make more after that, but she's not going to be in those ones, so that's why I was here.
But see, that's my kind of problem, is that I really wish Terrifier 4 would be the end.
Yeah, because I agree. I think they should just end it with the fourth one, because it kind of feels like they're setting up an ending for the fourth one. That's why
because
okay.
Well, since Art the Clown is now a demon from hell, there's very strong kind of religious allegory between him and Sienna is like this angel, right? And I think it's totally going down with the storyline of like the angel's gonna strike the devil down, and again, if they continue more Art the Clown after Sienna, then that ruins Sienna's whole character arc, because
that's true.
Because she's living up to her dad's expectation,
Yes.
like of being the savior. So to end her character arc with her defeating Art the Clown, but then be like, oh, psych, he's still here. I just hate that, and I really hate movies going on after. I really think movies in general should go back to just only doing trilogies, or maybe 1/4 movie, and not go over 5 movies.
I agree.
Because I feel like if you're just dragging it out, it's gonna hurt it. And again, I also think the guy doesn't want to be just known for Art the Clown. I think he really wants to make new stuff, and he should. And I really think this new stuff might be even better than the Terrifier series if he does it right and he does something new.
Yeah, we had a couple.
I did hear, from what I can remember, because I think the director even said himself, I did hear like the first like 15 minutes of the fourth movie is supposed to show us like the Art the Clown origin story, which is I hope that's the case, because if this is like the final one, I do want to see the origin story, because we need to know how Art the Clown, like how he is, like why is he so evil.
Yeah, I also hope that the origin story isn't within the fourth one, because the only way they could make more Terrifier movie after the fourth one is to do a full-on prequel movie. But I think that just wouldn't work. It's best to it's best to do the opening to be the origin story, and then have him be done. Just have him be done. And I also think, and my thing is like, okay, with Art the Clown, Pennywise, like I think clowns are kind of done now. We need to make up new monsters that aren't just clowns. I understand why clowns are scary to people, because they're uncanny valley, because they look like humans but not really. But I also just feel like they've been overdone, and like we gotta come up with something else now.
Speaking of movies, like how much movies you make, there's one franchise that makes a lot of movies when it comes to horror. Halloween, cough cough.
I'm sick of Halloween. Michael.
Yeah, like that franchise. I don't know why they made
least favorite slasher of all time. Least favorite slasher. I really like the first one. Hated.
Give us a better Suicide Squad game. Yeah, we definitely need a better one after that atrocity. Can you finally play and buy the original Resident Evil? I'll see what I can do, Chris. I definitely want to try.
What do you mean Underground?
I also want to say, I want to give a horror movie recommendation that I watched recently. It's a 1974 film. If you like the first Halloween movie, you should watch Black Christmas, because
I did hear that one's great.
It's better. It's better than Halloween, in my personal opinion. So I recommend that one. That one was really good. There's remakes, but don't watch the remakes. Just watch the original Black Christmas. It's
Speaking of Black Christmas, this guy right here, my profile picture, he did a Black Christmas reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what scene I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Oh, Retrohead says, guys, thoughts on the Fallout?
Oh yeah, I did hear that draw
teaser. I watched it during the Game Awards event. I don't know if anyone else watched it, but
I haven't watched it yet.
I really liked it. It's just a teaser. They just got done filming, but it really sets the tone that we're just going to get another great season. And I think that Fallout is changing the game. Like, people have talked about, that video game movies can work and that they're coming back. And there's been a couple of examples. Like, I know a lot of people like to say, oh, well, the Sonic movies are great. But I don't really think of the Sonic movies as like perfect video game adaptation. I just think they're just kind of fun, because Sonic the Hedgehog is a fun character. But like, when you think of video game adaptation, I know people always say, oh, look at what the Mario movie did, and that's awesome. But like, when you think of true video game adaptation, obviously you could say the first season of The Last of Us. We're not going to talk about the second season, but at least the first season was good. But I didn't finish season 2. But
I didn't even watch season 2 at all. I didn't even watch the first episode.
Fair. But that's a good thing. But when it comes to like what I was so impressed about with the first Fallout season was people who played Fallout, or people that just enjoy the idea of it. It really is true to the source material, and also brings something new to the table, new original characters. And they revealed before the trailer today that from like being on stage in the backdrop, that they're going to take inspiration from the New Vegas Fallout game, which I thought was pretty cool. The TV show is canon to the games, but it's an original story. Exactly. Yeah, I like it. It's canon to the games, but it's an original story. I love the actors in it. I love that we got Walton Goggins in there. I think he's great. He plays the ghoul in the series. The lead actress is great. Yeah, I think it's a really great show. And if you guys haven't, if you guys haven't checked out Fallout on Prime, you have until December. Oh, Luke's here finally. Nice.
Art. Oh, okay. What? Who's here? Luke's here. Oh,
you made it for the Q&A, boss.
Hello, boss Luke. Is here. Luke is here.
Is your mic on, boss?
I think he's still setting up. No worries. I also just want to say, since it's horror related, Ella Purnell, who plays the main character in Fallout, and also Joe and I's personal fan cast pick of playing Zatanna for the new DCU, I am it's not a show made for everyone,
Hello.
but I am a big
Hey,
fan
welcome.
of Yellow Jackets. Hi, Luke. I
Hey.
am a big fan of Yellow Jackets. You can watch the first. So there's 3 seasons out right now, but the full show is on Paramount. But you can watch the first 2 seasons on Netflix if you want, and it's a very psychological thriller cannibalism show about a plane crash and with like crazy girls in there, and they make a cult. Like, it's very interesting, and I love it, and it has a really good intro theme song. So
Yeah,
I would
I'll watch
recommend
it tonight, Chris.
Yeah, I've heard about Yellow Jackets. I want to jump right back to Fallout though.
Yeah.
Hearing you guys talk about that, there was actually I saw some kind of game announcement. I think it was today, but it wasn't at Gamescom. It was I saw it on IGN. That Fallout 2 is getting a remake in Fallout 4 engine.
Ooh.
Yeah, full game. So I don't know how that'll be like, but that's interesting.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. I like the Fallout games. I've been thinking of replaying them.
I feel that.
No,
you should
that's
try
cool.
out Outer Worlds if you want to try something different. That
Outer
feels
Worlds,
like.
yeah, I heard that one's pretty cool.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, since this is a horror-related thing, I gotta say, Halloween Kills is underrated. That's all I'm gonna say.
You like Halloween Kills? It's
Yeah, I
underrated.
actually like that movie, Joe. I feel like that one was actually pretty good. I feel like
Halloween-
that
yeah,
should have been.
what's the worst one? Halloween Ends.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was-
sorry. No, don't
Yeah,
give
So,
Not good.
have you guys talked weapons in Alien Earth already?
We have talked about weapons in Alien Earth, but only very lightly because we didn't talk about major spoilers. But if you want to talk, we can talk about it again, and we can talk more in depth. I know that the third.
Is there a trailer for that He-Man beat 'em up, Chris?
There
still
is.
gotta watch weapons.
There
actually.
is, Joe. You just
Okay, I want to
YouTube
look
it.
it up. I want to YouTube
Yeah,
it.
you
'cause
just missed that before you started.
Yeah, I
It
want
was
to
in
see
the
that.
pre-show.
Dude. That's freaking awesome.
That
He-Man
is
beating
great.
up Skeletor, man in arms. That's my childhood, baby. Let's go.
Now,
Dude.
I didn't see weapons, but
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I want to
Alien
watch it.
Earth. I still haven't finished the first episode, but I got pretty far into it. I was almost done, and then I jumped into Alien Fireteam Elite with these guys. But I really was liking it. Like, just the production value of it. Like,
I made us a playlist for our next episode too, by the way.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm a big Alien fan. I think it's great what they're doing. If we're gonna
Yeah.
talk more horror, a little horror based, I mean, I think a big shout out from Gamescom today would be just that John Carpenter game. I
Oh
forget
yeah, that
what
looks
it's-
good.
Yeah, that looks like a great horror game. It's just zombie
Oh, is
mode
it-
paradise.
There's like vampires, or is it something different?
It's zombies. It's
Oh,
like
zombies, okay.
4-player co-op. Like, you go in an open world, you have this like vehicle that you can upgrade, mow them down with, and get in and then get out and do what you got to do. It looks like Left 4 Dead, but open world with a vehicle. I'm pretty excited for it.
Lego Batman game.
Yeah, it looks
Oh, yeah,
iconic,
we
man.
That
We're
already.
hyped for Lego Batman.
Did
Yeah,
you guys
'cause
talk
I
about?
heard about that. Yeah, that was.
Did you guys talk about Resident Evil?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I
We
think it
also-
looks amazing.
Yeah, Resident Evil, and we talked a little bit about Silent Hill. I do plan after this. I do plan on watching the 3rd episode of Alien Earth after this because I know that just dropped the 3rd episode. My take on Alien Earth is that I don't think it's bad. I think it is good. And again, it's only been 3 episodes of the show, so I feel like you can't judge it too harshly.
Awesome.
Um,
Chris.
But I am kind of missing I'm not getting the alien vibe. I don't know how to describe it, and I'm not trying
Okay.
to. And I don't want to be like those people where like, oh, it's a new take, so therefore it's bad, because that's not what I think at all.
Right.
And again, and I love how they're right away with the xenomorphs. I think that was a smart decision because I was scared that they were going to save them until the very end. But I like how we get the xenomorphs right
We
away.
can do it tonight when I come back
See,
from Nobody if you want, Chris.
I can't speak on like the whole, all of it, but like from what I've seen, which is up to most of the episode 1, like I don't know. I feel like the xenomorph in the very beginning,
Mhm.
like that was well done. Like
Yeah,
the guy,
I agree.
that was great, and like
I do think episode 2 was better than episode 1. So when you get to
Sure.
episode 2, I wonder what you'll
I'll try and watch the
Yeah.
3 tonight when I get the
But
chance.
I also really liked what they did with Wendy. and like what that was building. You can feel like, oh, this is 2 years before the original movie. You can feel this is Wayland Yutani,
Yeah.
like really forming into what we know it as.
Mhm.
Like I even have snippets of that not being that far into the show, which I really do appreciate. Like I like stuff like that. Just
I think
calls.
I think my only critique for the film for the show is that I think they do a lot of fading out editing, and there's this one scene that people have already been making memes out of where it's Sid from Ice Age being in the background of Wendy, and it's supposed to be it's important to Wendy and her brother, but I just think it makes it look more goofy than
Hard
more
cut.
emotional impact of what it's supposed to be. And I think what you said about like how again it's set 2 years before the first Alien movie, and we're finally seeing like more of the two like companies kind of fighting each other.
Right.
I think it's just I think what I mean by I haven't gotten the Alien feel yet is that I think what I loved about the first Alien films, the first couple of them, is that the very the themes of it, like the very what it's supposed to represent. And I think I just have to be like, well, I just hope that this Alien Earth kind of brings back those themes in a different way, and also add more themes on top of it with what it's currently doing with the whole kind of body swapping technology and what that means ethically. Like, is it more scary sci-fi stuff? You know what I mean? But again, it's only been 3 episodes, so the more that it continues, I might be surprised and be like, hey, this is really awesome, which I do think it will happen. Because again, I don't think this is a bad show at all. I just got to wait it out a bit, to give my fully formed opinion on it.
I get that. Yeah, it's
Well, I
nice
just
to have
got a
a
new
fully
horror topic.
put out
I just
plot.
got a new horror topic for us guys.
What's that?
Apparently, there's a new trailer that came out for the She-Hulk stars in a new horror movie called Keeper, and they released the Red Band trailer.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to watch that later. Does it?
Keeper looked like a cool
called-
game too. I think it was called
Really?
Keeper, or was it
Yeah.
Seeker? That was the one where you are a lighthouse. And it was made
yep.
by the Psychonauts guys, and it does look like it has a horror vibe to it, at least creepy vibe.
Yeah.
Psychonauts does a good job with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of horror stuff, I do think because Scream 7, we still have that movie coming out next year, right? I think February. I don't know what day February exactly, but February next year. You know the movie Running Man, Joe?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're gonna drop the Scream 7 teaser during that movie.
That'll be
'Cause
next
those-
month.
Yeah, we talked about Screen 7 a little earlier, and I mean, I know they're bringing back the original cast. I'm just restating what I said before earlier, but the Scream franchise is just dead to me. It's not that good.
Yeah,
anymore.
because I agree. Because I even said this to many people. Scream 6 is my ending. Me personally, it's my ending because, Sam Carpenter and Tara, who plays Melissa and Jenna Ortega, they gave them a perfect ending for Scream 6. And I feel like them giving us another movie, I'm like, what is the point of this? We already got an ending.
I also think Scream, in movies in general, I think what's so great about Sinners is that it's really only going to be a standalone film. As much as I think Warner Brothers wants to make a sequel, Ryan Coogler is not interested at all because he thinks Sinners is just a perfect standalone movie. And I think movies in general, and especially in horror, is that we got to stop dragging these movies out. And I think we should really either stick to just one or a trilogy. And if we want to push it, we can do a fourth one. But when it gets to the 5 and 6 and 7 and 9, I'm like, okay, we gotta stop.
That's not going to happen because
yeah.
the way the American system works is more movies,
I
more
know.
money.
More
So
movies, more money, but
Yeah,
in the
when you build that brand name up, then you get people really going to go see it.
It's even worse too because I
You
did
fail
hear.
upwards.
It's worse too because I did hear they want to do a Scream 8 too, which I'm like, what is the point of Scream 8? Why are we already doing Scream 8, bro? Chill out. Take it
The best
easy.
thing is like now they'll be like, and then we're in reboot central. Like I just saw Scary Movie is coming back with Anna Faris and The black woman. I don't know her name.
Why, bro? Why do we need it, bro? You see, this is the problem, bro. Why do we need all this stuff? Well, what is this necessary? Is
I'm
this
kind of
really-
okay with that one because that's back when Scary Movie was still good.
Yeah,
But
scary movies are more parody movies, so I don't really care. Because I said we've talked about this before. Is that if the new scary movie is actually funny, and I just hope we get to see more better written jokes about the latest films that we have seen this year. Because each scary movie is kind of making fun of horror movies from the past, or
Right.
what horror movies were made in their time. So I'm kind of excited for the new scary movie. I think it'll be because I think you know what you're getting into when you're watching a scary movie series. Like, you're not expecting anything great or grand.
right.
It's a fun film just for funsies. So
I think it could be fun. I mean, I didn't see The Naked Gun. I know you did, Joe.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
And
I
I
have to
mean,
watch.
it's
it's
nice
time
to see.
for horror to. It's time for cinema to return to straight up comedy.
Yeah, I
we've
agree.
been
Comedies
we've
are
been missing
they-
straight up comedy.
You know,
they've been
it-
dead. You know.
It's interesting. It's interesting how you said that scary movies always make fun of horror movies that come out. There's one movie that they could make fun of. I actually want Scary Movie to make fun of the Terrifier franchise. I don't know why.
I
That would
want
be
I'm
them-
fun.
sure- I'm
I
sure
want
it
them
would.
to make fun of Terrifier and Longlegs. I think Longlegs have.
Oh yeah,
that'd be
that
great.
too. That would be funny.
They have a lot to work with since the last movie they made. Yeah, they could go Conjuring, they could go Insidious, they could go Annabelle, they could do everything.
Bro, honestly,
you know?
at this
A lot
point,
of freedom.
even Chucky, do Chucky too. That's
They
fine.
could do Chucky. There's been new Chucky even. They could do that too.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like do whatever you want. Honestly, I'll be down with anything. It's gonna be funny. I can already tell.
Yeah, they
I,
could do a
I
lot.
could see them being like making some kind of Winnie the Pooh joke, and it's like, no,
Oh, yeah,
not that
Winnie
Winnie
the
the Pooh, and it's like the murderous Winnie the Pooh like,
Yeah.
shows up
You
or
know what's
something.
funny, bro? It'll be funny, bro, if they make fun of Megan too, like the Megan
Oh
movie.
yeah, Megan. Or
I
like,
still didn't
Yeah,
see
right.
Megan 2.
I haven't even seen the first Megan. Again, not my thing.
The first Megan is good.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Weapons.
I haven't seen a lot of newer horror movies because I feel a lot of them look
Weapons.
really
You think
bad.
they make fun of weapons? They might make fun of weapons.
Oh, they
Weapons.
totally would make fun of
I
weapons.
still need to watch Weapons, bro. I heard that movie is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm still gonna watch that. Obviously, Conjuring, the new Conjuring movie comes out next month, for I can remember. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a straight up, just because since Luke was talking about Naked Gun with comedy, I think you guys would really love Naked Gun. Just like
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that
and
one
you
too.
do, and you don't have to watch the
wanna
other
see it.
movies to appreciate this new one because it
Right.
really stands on its own and it's really like it's just really funny. Like if you like Liam Neeson and you're used to Liam Neeson being like the serious guy, this is like him being like the serious guy, but like it being dialed up to 11 and making it like funny with like such
But
good like
Please tell
deadpan
me
humor.
that Leslie Nelson is still in the movie at some point.
Leslie Nelson, is that the original guy or
Yeah, he's the original guy.
I think he
What-
passed
what-
away. I don't think he's
No, I swear to God, he's still around. He was part of why this movie got made, dude. I swear.
okay. That's interesting because I don't remember him appearing, but maybe they
He
had
might
a
not be
cameo
in
or
it.
something.
He might not be in it at
Yeah.
all. But I would.
Well,
He's got white hair. He's the older gentleman. He's dark, deep voice.
Oh, so there's
Oh, that's
another
interesting.
movie.
That's
so-
interesting. Retrolette says the
Oh,
Duck
hold on.
brothers are leaving Netflix, but will
I
continue
did
to
hear
work on
about that,
Stranger
Retrolette.
Things spin-offs even after the exit to Paramount.
Yeah, I like. Here's
So
the thing.
the opposite of the Game of Thrones guys.
When it comes to when it comes to shows with spin-offs, the one show I'm okay with spin-offs is certain things because I feel like there's some characters that you could do a lot with spin-offs, like some of the newer characters like Erica, Holly Wheeler, all these newer characters, like all these like younger kids. Obviously, I don't want the core four to get a spin-off because their ending is going to be with Stranger Things Season 5, but you could do spin-offs with like the smaller characters.
Personally,
I just
I
think
feel
they-
I feel the opposite
Oh.
of that. Like Stranger Things, I don't want any more Stranger Things.
Me
Maybe I'm
neither.
just not as big of a fan as you, but like I'm good. I'm already good. Let's do one more season, sure, and I'll see how it ends. Like that's fine, but like I'm good on the universe.
That's the thing. I agree with that because there's a lot of shows that people want spin-offs, but guys, we gotta end the show, okay? Like Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, all these shows, you're gonna have to end it. I know it sucks, but it's the
You
end,
could do
okay?
cool things with Stranger Things going forward, definitely. Like
Also-
there
Yeah.
could be like more mature or more dark stories you could even tell.
I mean, yeah, you could do
Um,
like more darker stories with certain things because the upside down and all that. So
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you could bring adults into it in some way and like make it like
hey,
darker. That would be kind of
thing,
cool.
my thing is just let Duffer Brothers create something new that they want to make. Like,
Well,
they
I heard that Stranger Things was a giant ripoff from the start.
oh
there
yeah,
was-
for sure. Well,
Yeah,
it was originally supposed to end at season 1. It was supposed to end at season 1.
even
and
just like though the brothers, they stole. This is what I've heard. They stole the whole idea for the whole show from another creator who
yeah,
like had been working on this story for a long time, and they kind of came along, swept it up, and kind of edited it, did what they did with it, and there you go, Stranger Things. Like they had more connections, this, that, and the other thing. But
and the thing with Stranger Things,
yeah.
the thing with Stranger Things, like because I did hear they wanted to originally end it after season 1, but obviously the show got popular, so like you know what, we'll do more seasons because the show got popular, so we got season 2. And then we got season
and they
3.
definitely did not know what they were doing with season 2.
Okay, everybody hates season 2, but it's honestly one of my favorites. Season 3 for me is when Stranger Things went downhill because even though because season 3 may have the overall better arching plot with Billy and the
Right.
the town, but they character assassinated everybody. Like
Thank you.
everybody.
I'm glad someone said it, please.
Because especially Mike and 11.
Oh, thank you.
Because what my least favorite trope in any piece of media is the miscommunication. And I understand miscommunication can happen, but the way that they wrote it in season 3 between Mike and 11's like breakup, and it's all Hopper's fault for them breaking up, I thought it was just so stupid, and it never gets properly resolved either way, and Hopper never says sorry. I also think, as much as this is the problem with a lot of media, is that the setup to a relationship can be really good, but then once the two characters are in a relationship, I think the writers forget how to write them individually as people and only focus on their relationship together, such as Mike and 11 and Joyce and Hopper. At first, I really loved the idea of Joyce and Hopper getting together, but now that they're actually kind of officially together now, I'm like, no, because they ruined it.
God, I haven't watched this stuff
be
since
fair,
it came out.
Can
It's
I
been
just
so
say,
long.
for me personally, I agree. I'm glad someone said season 3 is because me personally, I think season 3 is the weakest season out of all of the seasons. I did not like season 3, and then once we got to season 4, me personally, season 4 brought the show back for me because when I saw the first episode,
for everyone.
I was sitting there. I was like, yes, the show is back. This is what I wanted. Where was this in season 3, bro? And then I finished season 4. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to see.
I think the thing is like season 2 isn't bad, but like it's empty compared to 3. You know what I mean? Where 3 feels full. And like you have like all these characters doing different things. Maybe I can agree with like your character assassinating some of your development stuff like that, right? But like you still have what feels like a fully fleshed out show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do agree with you if like they had everybody doing something. Like they were all on an important mission, and it did captivate the audience. I do feel,
Right.
but I think
And it was funny and cute with the little sister, and like the Russians are in the mall. Like it was fun. You know what I mean? I think season 2 tries too hard to be serious, and then like it turns into kind of a melodramatic season. You know what I mean?
To me personally, I think what season 2 had that season 3 didn't have is that they did a lot more with Will's character in season 2 than they did with season 3.
I'm just laughing at the typo that Retro made.
I think 3 became more about 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just feel like I wanted to see more from Will in season 3 because I feel like they didn't really do anything with this character in season 3.
I kind of get that.
I think that's what I like about season 2 is that it was really focused about Will and his trauma after being upside down and him navigating through that. And then season 3, obviously, 11 is important, and we should be seeing more content of her. I think that's also just the biggest problem that the Duffer Brothers and Stranger Things have is that they have so many characters, and that they're trying to juggle them all, but then that ends up, and they always add a new character, and like the gimmick, like they add a new character and then they kill them off. I think that's been run down to the ground. It's not that like it's not good anymore, and so because they have so many characters, they're obviously trying to focus on them, but also some gets left behind. I do understand the biggest critique of season 2 is when 11 finds the other kids and like her sister and the other kids that were experimented on. And I understand that might not have been the best. It might not have been written the best way, but I really did like the idea of it, and I do find it kind of sad that they just never get brought up again afterwards.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say I'm kind of like bummed out about is that I think the character, I think her name is 8. I think 8,
Yeah,
right?
8.
I think I remember. I'm sorry, that's the most useless character in the show now because you bring her for one episode, that's it. Like what? Like, what are we
Didn't
doing?
they? I thought that they brought them up in like season 4 a little bit, didn't they? No,
I don't remember.
I don't remember really. I'm gonna be honest. I know I love season 4, but the one thing I will say about season 4, sometimes it is kind of forgettable. I will say.
Well, it's long.
Yeah, it is long.
I mean, that's better. Me personally, I know a lot of people like short episodes. Me personally, I actually do like longer episodes because you get to spend more time with these characters. And that's the problem I have with other shows like Cobra Kai, for example.
Yeah, and a good hour-long episode is always nice, you know.
Oh,
I
it's
think
always nice.
I think it just depends on what show, pros and cons. Sometimes
I agree.
Sometimes a longer episode's good because you get more content, but sometimes a shorter episode's better because then it doesn't drag out and the pacing doesn't.
Right. It depends on what you're
it just
watching.
depends. I think with the sister in season 2 is that they saw the negative reviews from Line, and then the Duffer Brothers were like, "Oh, we gotta drop it." But like the thing is that you gotta learn from your mistakes, and I think it just would have been better if like, okay, maybe the way they were introduced sucked, but keep them in and just write them better as the show goes.
I agree.
Yeah, as a writer, you kind of have to stick with your decisions and show your audience why you did this.
Mm-hmm.
And that will in the long run, you'll be like, oh wow, I really like the way they developed these characters, even though I wasn't a fan of it when it was first happening.
Right,
and that happens to comic books all the time because you don't
thank you, bro. I'm glad someone said it.
Yeah, you don't get fully finished stories. You get one episode or one issue a month. You know what I mean? And you're in a 6-part story, and people are having misfits like after issue 1 or 2 of a new series, and then it's like, you guys, we haven't even seen what happens. Like Hydra Cap or like Spider-Man Doc Ock. You know what I mean? Those are classic for the comic community just going ape shit on the creators when it wasn't called for at all.
I will say one thing about certain things that I am pretty happy about with season 5. I am so glad we're going back to Will because I'm glad he's finally getting the focus that he deserves. I know season 5 is going to mainly focus on, what happened to him when he was in the Upside Down, because I do think we're going to get a lot of flashbacks and see his point of view in the Upside Down, because, obviously don't want to do that in the final season because this is the final time we'll ever see the show, so it makes sense. And Retchlad said, did everyone like Wednesday? That's what Retchlad said.
I haven't watched it.
I liked it.
I have not seen it. I heard it's pretty good, obviously because of Jenna Ortega, because she's a popular actress, so makes sense.
Jenna Ortega is like the Sydney Sweeney who could act or something. I don't know.
I hope season 5 doesn't have any jokes because they need to go on in that. I mean, here's the thing. Well, you could still have jokes in season 5, but I feel like it's going to be a lot more serious because, people are going through stuff.
This will make the jokes corny,
But so was season 4.
Yeah.
You had jokes and you had an extremely serious story. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like, you could still make jokes and have a serious joke. I said many people. And, for example, when you said Dustin, I actually think this is going to be the one season where Dustin is going to be a lot more serious because he lost his friend Eddie, right? So he's obviously going to be going through a lot. So, yeah.
I'm going to have to rewatch Stranger Things.
I also think people forget that when it comes to, if it's appropriate, making jokes in serious moments is what helps kind of like control the said serious moment.
No, you're right.
So I think, again, just not make them actually funny. Don't make them at appropriate times, and just don't make them corny. Because I think the jokes in Stranger Things, I will say, are pretty good.
Right, I agree with that.
So
when it comes to big shows like Stranger Things, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, I have to say, like, I am such a big Breaking Bad fan. Oh my god! Like, I think Breaking Bad's an absolute masterpiece. Better Call Saul is an amazing show. The El Camino is amazing. Like, anything attached to Breaking Bad, I can't get enough of. I love Breaking Bad. So, like, I mean, who knows? Stranger Things could could go that route. You know, like
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you
you
are
got
a fan of that content, that could be something you really like. You know, and I could see it being enjoyable still going forward. Who knows? You know.
I mean, you got this guy right here. Vecna, coming back. Vecna is officially coming back. I'm excited to see his return because I did see the teaser and he has a little bit of a new design. So yeah, I'm pretty.
Speaking of big shows, though, I will say I'm disappointed that we didn't get Night of the Seven Kingdoms this summer. I was really looking forward to that for the Game of Thrones spinoff that was supposed to come out. But it's okay. Somehow, weirdly enough, Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones will line up once again next year.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how Joe is like the only one that's quiet about this. He's like so quiet, just listening to the conversation.
He's got his mind on something.
Yeah,
Joe,
what I mean.
Are you a big Lord of the Rings fan, Joe? Are you there?
We both like Lord of the Rings. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's doing. We both like Lord of the Rings, so yes. I never read the books, so I wouldn't call myself a super fan.
Right.
I do like the movies.
You should read the books. They're great.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
think the one thing that I would critique about the Lord of the Rings movies is that the author, when he wrote the Lord of the Rings books, he just came back from war, and he was so traumatized that if you read the books, there's like hardly any fight scenes whatsoever. Like none.
Oh yeah.
But then the movies, I understand why they do it because it's the movies. Fight scenes constantly, and if you the thing is that if you didn't know that about the books, then it's not a problem in the movies. I don't think they're a major problem. I still enjoy them, but I do wish that maybe, I don't know, they could have kept that aspect a little bit, or at least try to make it maybe certain scenes more like a pacifist situation. Like, I don't know, but
So we're breaking into Lord of the Rings territory. Oh boy.
boy.
So I'm gonna say now actually the Tolkien estate, when those movies came out, they said along the lines of what you're saying right now, and they said that they had aimed the movie more towards teenagers with an action movie, rather than really breaking into the beautiful literature and like scenery that Tolkien really describes and creates within the books, right? So there is that take. I love that take. At the same time, what Rings of Power coming out, like we kind of get that version, and albeit with like woke additions of like orcs being a family and stuff, like stuff that was not originally planned, but like I feel you get more of that slow motion, like life sim feel that the books kind of almost represent, compared to like that bloody, gory battle that you get in the original movies. But like,
I
there's
still enjoy
something.
them.
Oh no, like they are absolute. Like I honestly don't know if they'll ever be topped. Even all that being said, like the fact that they don't capture necessarily that side of the books, they still capture a part of the story that is so captivating that, I mean, Peter Jackson just nails it out of the park. There's the scenes in Two Towers when Gandalf comes over the hill on the seventh day waiting for the sun. I mean, like, it grabs you, like, emotionally.
There's also the thing, just like the time that those movies were made, because even though yes, it may it's not the fighting scenes aren't accurate to the book, but it's also how else were you supposed to captivate the audience of that time?
A war as well, you know what I mean? Like Helm's Deep is like 5 pages long, but it's an actual war. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't go into details of the war because it's not an action book. You know what I mean? But like Peter Jackson kind of brings that part to life for you, which is kind of cool.
Because also the other thing is that when I found out about he's a little traumatized, so he doesn't want to talk about in-depth detail of fighting and war, but you also have to realize it's still set in a war. Like that's what's happening in the plot of the story to a certain extent. So again, I wouldn't even say that I'm against the decision that Peter Jackson made when he was adding the fight scenes in the movies, because I think it did help the movies be good. So I don't know. It's always a
It
little.
captured an emotion that the books don't necessarily portray, but I believe is still existent within the story.
Mhm.
Where like actually now this is when you start being like a real fucking Lord of the Rings fan. Is like, all right, let's talk about the Hobbit movies,
Yeah.
right?
I'm gonna get those.
And like I can actually sit here and say, as someone who's read all the books and stuff, like the Hobbit movies are kind of cool. Like, and you can easily look at them and be like, why? And I agree that they shouldn't be 3 movies, but
Mhm.
like the third movie specifically has scenes in it that are briefly described within the book, which are kind of cool to see envisioned. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and like I could see how plenty of people could read it and be or watch it and be like, who cares? But like
Right.
when you're a big enough fan, it is kind of like, oh, it is cool Peter Jackson took the time to like make this scene come to life with how little attention it got in the book. You know, like just that little nod to like, oh, but they did do this and it would take time to do this even though the book doesn't take the time to talk about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't, and I'm talking about like the dwarves relighting the where what the forge or whatever when they get the
Yeah.
lava flowing again in the third movie. Like that takes like literally 2 sentences or 3 sentences to describe, and Peter Jackson takes a whole scene to show you them doing it and how challenging it would be with the dragon chasing them, which is cool.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that, you know, and I think Peter Jackson also did that with the original films when you look back at like what you're saying, you know what I mean? Where he's taking Helm's Deep 5 pages, he's making a real war scene out of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Not
Like
not to cut you guys off.
I
I'm
know
enjoying
you
your
can't.
conversation.
You can't.
I gotta get going pretty soon.
No worries.
But
Since this podcast is slowly is starting to end, I want to answer Retrolad's question. He can be the last one. He said, "How do you feel about Frodo coming back? Deep fake or got cut off? Hunt for Gollum?"
So someone said that the other day that Frodo was coming back, and I thought they meant that it was in the show. I'm like, what the hell? That's so weird. Or, they're remaking the movies, I think, right? And I saw it's actually a Hunt for Gollum. I think it's
Yeah,
like
Hunt for Gollum.
confirmed, right? And it's going to
Yeah.
be Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood back as their characters. That sounds awesome. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing. And Peter Jackson? Is it Peter Jackson?
yeah,
I mean, all in, all in. I get one last taste of Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, and I'm 15 years older than when it came out.
Mhm.
Like I'm. Thank you. I can die happy.
My thing is that I mean, if they do deep fake on Frodo, whatever. But I kind of don't think they need to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they do need to make him look younger. But they can also just do that with makeup.
Elijah Wood looks so young still.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Is that Elijah Wood looks so young right now.
He could still do. I think makeup maybe a little bit of effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like
I think mostly makeup, not deep fake, but just a little bit of makeup, and then he'll look just the same.
you should watch Wilfred if you've never seen Wilfred. Everybody, Elijah Wood. Oh, what a great show.
Mm.
Elijah
Wood's
Wood.
Yellow Jackets season 2. So.
Oh really? I love Elijah Wood and Tobey Maguire. I wish they were in something together.
Oh, it would be so awesome if they were in a movie together, like brothers or something. That would.
I would be all about it. Tobey Maguire and there was an IFC show back in the day. It's just so silly. I wish I could remember the name of it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, seeing Elijah Wood and Tobey Maguire in the same movie or TV show would be awesome to see, because they're very similar.
Oh yeah, no, they could do something funny together for sure.
Mm-hmm.
all right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap up here because I gotta get going pretty soon.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you later, Joe.
You're off to the movies, Joe?
Yeah, I'm off to the movies.
All right, have a good
When
time.
Have fun, dude. You gonna play Aliens later?
Yeah, I am.
Peace out, Joe.
I'll see you guys later tonight.
Remember,
Okay,
Joe,
thanks, everyone.
I am on vacation.
So good. I can't wait, man.